Hey everyone, thanks for joining us today. I have with me Teresa Lynch and Damian G.
Hello,
You guys
ladies.
want to say hi?
Hello, guests.
Well, there's no guests right now, but
No
hopefully
guests.
soon.
Oh, well. Hopefully they'll pop
No
in.
guests.
But this is the first show you've
Yeah.
done on your channel, right?
Guys,
Are you there?
I am. Can you hear me?
I can now. Cut out for a minute there.
Okay.
This is the first show
That's
that
good to
you've...
go out.
Is this the first
Second
show
show.
you've done on your second show? Okay. Oh, you did the test one.
Second
That's
show.
right. I recall
Yes,
that.
I did.
But
The
this is
test one that ran for
your
3
first real
hours.
live show, so...
Well, it was a test that turned into a 3-hour show.
I remember all too well.
But yeah, Teresa left us again and she's back again.
And she's back.
Teresa, we're live. You can't keep doing this.
You going to stick around?
I can't.
Stay
I have
a while?
no control over it. Sorry.
That's strange. Well, we hope you stick around.
We do. And we hope people actually show up today. We had a nice turnout last time.
Yeah, it'll pick up. What else do people have to do on a Sunday afternoon, evening, depending where you're at?
I was seeing if I got a notification for my channel. I don't think I can get notifications for my channel.
It's too new, or?
Oh no, you should get a notification the minute we go live.
Yeah. I don't think I got anything.
Yeah. You have to also have the bell turned on. If you don't have the bell turned on, you won't get a notification.
Right. Which I think I do, but...
Interesting.
You have nobody?
YouTube can be finicky that way.
Yeah.
Oh, I did get one.
You did get one.
Oh, no, sorry, it was for someone else. I have to go watch their show, so I have to leave you guys now. Thank you for having me. Just kidding.
All right, well, if they want to rewind, they can. We should just start instead of just sitting here. We can start with the rewind folder instead of getting into the alphabet. We can wait until people show up for that.
Sure. So you would like the rewind?
Yeah, because if people watch this later, I don't want them to have to wait.
Right. All right, so the rewind.
Yeah.
Oops, hang on here a sec. All right.
All right, so while he's doing that, I'm going to explain how a lot of these rewinds, we are live. A lot of these rewinds have to do also with letters changing and merging and things like that, but this one doesn't. About 10 years ago, I started seeing these on Facebook, and then they finally added one to my area, and I was so excited. Except I remember it called the Art-O-Matic, and what they are is they're they used the old-fashioned cigarette dispenser machines that they would have in bars and clubs and bowling alleys. They refurbished them.
You used to pull them. Yeah.
Yes. I
remember them.
Well, instead of cigarettes, they refurbished them to make them. I think it's $5. You pay $5, and out comes a block of wood with artwork on it.
Okay.
And artists all over the world. You can actually get these blocks from the company, and they'll mail them to you, and you can do your art on the blocks, or you can use your own blocks at the right dimensions. And people paint on them, they carve them, they do all sorts of artwork to them. And they have to do like a series, so like 10 of the same type. They don't have to be exactly the same, but like 10 paintings of roses or flowers, you know what I'm saying? So they have different categories. You could choose the artist you want, and it's a little art dispenser. That's what it is. They've turned cigarette dispensers into art dispensers.
What?
Well, now they're not
What?
automatics. They're automats. M-A-T. That's it.
Hmm.
The IC just disappeared.
That looks like a cigarette dispenser to me.
That's what I just
That's
said, Teresa.
originally
I just
what they
spent
were.
5 minutes. 5 minutes describing what they were.
Wow. Amazing.
Yeah, I can't say I've even heard of the Artomatic. I wonder what they were called for cigarettes.
I don't know.
I can't
look it up because
remember.
then you won't hear me. Just by
Oh,
going to the YouTube window, you
take a
can
peek
hear
here
me
while
anymore.
you're talking about it.
Yeah. I just call them cigarette dispensers or cigarette vending machine. But
Yeah, because that's basically what they were early vending machines. But yeah, I remember them because you'd pull on that and it was like a rod and it just would pull out and drop down to the bottom. But I definitely don't remember the art ones. And it's odd that it would be changed to Artomat because mat isn't really short for like
me,
automatic.
a mat would be a place, like a laundromat. You see what I'm saying? Like I would consider a place to be the mat.
Mm-hmm.
The matic part is because it's automatic. You pull the lever out, it comes. I don't know. It just makes no sense to me.
Wow, and it's
But
amazing.
I got a neat fact for you.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
I was going to say, I used to work at a diner that was torn down called Little Pete's. We had a working cigarette dispenser until the restaurant was shut down in 2016. It was still filled every single week with cigarettes. I didn't even know that they still had them except for that one. Because I thought it circumvented the laws. Like, there's no way to card somebody if they're running. Like, if you're not paying attention, someone can just sneak in, put money in, take cigarettes. You know what I'm saying? So I just thought it was weird that in 2016 they were still a working one.
Yeah, for cigarettes, it just looks like they just had cigarettes on the front, so they weren't calling them anything. Just a vending machine, I guess, for cigarettes. But I don't remember the automatics. I'm sure there were a lot of different kinds. If you Googled them, it's amazing how many there are. Never saw one.
What year did this come out?
I don't know what year they came out.
My guess is probably the 70s.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Because that's when the cigarette ones were quite popular, if I remember.
Huh. Interesting.
And this would have came out as a branch off of that. Neat idea, but I never heard of them.
Me either. And my mother was a smoker, and I would have probably seen this, if we were out somewhere. And I've never seen. I've seen regular cigarette machines, but not something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sandy, did you happen to notice if they're only U.S. or outside? Again, I'm in Canada, so maybe they never did make it up here. But
I don't know. I have to check. I haven't checked in a while actually to see because they're expanding all the time. But I do believe they may have one in Niagara Falls.
So you're saying these are still a thing?
They're definitely a thing. They're still a thing now.
What?
That's crazy. That's even crazier than the rest of it.
Really?
Like
they didn't start making them until the 2000s, like maybe 2006. I'm gonna look them up. Hold on.
Really?
Yeah, hold on.
The styling of this one you have on here looks like 70-ish, late 70s.
Yeah, it does.
Just the style.
No. That's just the style. They make all different ones. They have one with let me see if I can give you more pictures to show. They have all different ones, but they do make them retro looking on purpose.
Right. I mean, I've got a bunch here. So.
Oh, wow.
Hang on a sec. Hang on a second.
They have their Facebook page is Artomat. Don't go around artless. And oh, come on, it's making me log in just to read it. I don't want that. They have over 100 active machines in various locations throughout the country. I guess meaning the U.S.
I mean, there's tons of different kinds. Here's.
Wow.
That looks newer.
It looks like they have one in all the states except for Alaska. They have one in. Oh, there's also one in Europe and one in Australia. Just one.
Oh my gosh! Look at this one. Oh, and
Yeah, they're all different styles and designs, and they all tend to be kind of retro. But I swear to you, in my past, it was Artomatic, not Artomat.
Not Artomat. I will take your word for it.
Yep.
Oh, Brian's here. Maybe Brian's heard of him.
And we have someone backstage.
Oh,
I'm
let's
gonna
do
add.
this.
I'm gonna add her in. I don't know where her thumbnail is.
Who is it?
Curiouser?
Hey, Brian.
Yeah, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, welcome.
Hi,
Got
thank
another.
you. I
Welcome.
So,
I'm
Brian.
on my phone, so I probably can't stay the whole time, but I'm glad to be here.
Glad to
welcome.
have you. Wait,
Thank
Brian, who's in the chat? Brian
Brian
who?
Stavely
I don't
Brian
see him.
is the
Stavely.
first one here.
Hey, Brian. I don't know why the chat isn't working. I can't see it. Normally,
Me either. That's just weird. All I see is you, Sandy.
yeah, it's all I see too. Usually I see that. Last time I went live, I saw chat.
Oh, interesting.
And this time, it's just showing me.
I just brought
Yeah,
up
I
the
just see
chat
Sandy.
from. No, Brian's never heard of it either. You want to tell Brian and
What about-
Crystal, or I mean, Curious and Curiouser
Crystal, yeah.
about?
Hey, Sandy,
Sure.
maybe you should look in the settings. Maybe there's a
No,
setting
he just popped up. He
or
just
somewhere
popped
to
up.
scroll. Oh, okay, great.
Yes. No, there's no top chat or live chat option on the mobile platform.
Oh, now it's playing catch up.
It just
Catch
plays.
up now.
Yeah, I think it was just delayed for some reason. Okay, so what
All
this
right.
is an Artomat dispenser. This company refurbishes old cigarette dispenser machines into Artomats, and artists from all over the
Brian
world.
Stavely.
Yeah. Oh, yes, it's delayed, Brian Stavely says. StreamYard is delayed. Okay, cool. So they refurbish the cigarette dispensers to dispense, I believe it's 3-inch by 4-inch wooden blocks that people create artwork on. And you pay $5, you can get a one-of-a-kind piece of art from local artists and artists worldwide. But it was Artomatic in my past. When they first came out, it was Artomatic, and now it's Artomat. That's all.
Wow.
Just showing this one. Curiouser is if there's anything you want to show, I can always present you as well.
Okay, thank you. Sure.
You're welcome.
I don't know how. See, this is new to me using my phone, so.
Oh, if you're using your phone, you can't present.
Yeah, I'm on my phone.
Okay, then.
I can bring up whatever you need.
There you go.
You just let me know.
It's okay, Brian. Apparently, most people are not familiar with them. Just me. All right, you want to just move on to the next one, or did you want to say something about it?
I find it odd that somebody would pay $5 for a block of wood with art on it. A little one, like they're not that big.
Right.
It's strange.
They're usually putting them in like museums, like art museums and things like that. I don't know. This was an image I found a long time ago. It just says Home Depot and Ross before I guess they changed.
Do you know we still have a Home Depot up here?
You do?
Mm-hmm.
No way.
Mm-hmm.
Did it actually say Home Depot?
Mm-hmm. It does. Not where I live, but I go through there sometimes on my way to another large
That's
city,
cool.
and yeah, it's still there. So I always struggled with this
Wow.
one, whether it's a real
That's
change
awesome.
or was a marketing change, because I'd see it all the time, and I'm like, did it just take them years to start changing them over? Or?
Well, no, their incorporation papers were found for
Mm-hmm.
the Home Depot.
Just odd though, like why, that's
It's also
so
odd.
not like how the phenomenon usually works. So it's just really odd.
I agree. It's also odd that their website is just homedepot.com.
Mm-hmm.
You would think it would be the Home Depot. Bride Stavely says,
Yeah.
I took a pic of a Home Depot sign when in Cali last month. Just Home Depot on the sign. No, you can go to the next one. We can just go through the folder. This is all old stuff from residue folders back in the day.
Well, there's another Artomatic.
Yeah,
Or an Artomat,
Flickr
I don't
doesn't
know.
put them in order. Yeah, Flickr doesn't put them in order. That's the problem. They just throw things in there. Okay, so this one, exactly, Ulta, not Ulta Beauty.
What?
So it didn't have the beauty before?
I do not remember the beauty.
No,
It was Ulta, not Ulta Beauty.
I don't know that
I
brand.
agree.
And,
I bought
and
stuff
also,
there before. It was always Ulta.
exactly. What about you, Chris? So do you remember Ulta or Ulta Beauty?
Ultra.
Ultra.
Oh, that's right. You
Yeah,
remember
that's a big
Ultra.
one. I remember Ultra. Yeah, it's a big one for me. I always thought it was a funny name, and so it stands in my memory.
All right, now here's another question for you. I remember the signs being orange. What about you?
Which signs?
The Ulta? It would make sense. The building's orange, and a lot of signs are turning black.
Wow.
This one is totally black, and it lights up white at night.
Can't say I remember. Sorry. Maybe white or orange would make a lot more sense. Yeah.
It was orange for me, but it's black now. It's weird. All right, so that's me pointing out the Home Goods. This is right after I did the Home Goods on Brian's show.
I'm using some old shabby old headphones, guys, so be surprised if I get disconnected and stuff. Sorry.
It's okay.
Just come back.
All right. Okay.
I also don't remember, this is new on this sign, David Bridal and Joyce Leslie having hearts in their signs. I don't remember that.
That's definitely another trend too, where you see the apostrophes changing into little icons, right? That's happened to a lot of brands. Interesting. And there's your Home Goods that you had your experience with, and I notice it doesn't extend into the O, the G, or the H crossbar.
Actually, I just have that's merged because that's when I first noticed it merged before it even went through the O. This is way before that. This is all stuff from Brian's show.
But see, that's weird too, because usually everything will change to what the new way is, no matter, even if it changes in steps. Rarely do you find, like normally this would have changed with that.
Exactly.
Though some of the new trend has been multiple things showing up, right? So
multiple versions of a logo. See, there's Ulta again, just black.
And just Ulta.
Just Ulta.
Wow.
I remember it. Teresa found this on The Office. This should have been in the letters folder.
That's okay. We'll just, I'll have to add that one to mine after.
Okay.
That's so odd. Definitely one of the A's showing up.
Yes. Okay. Now this is going to be another one where there's other stuff thrown in this folder in random order. This is something I covered before. And Brian, if you're still here, feel free to chime in the chat if you know Tasty Freeze. It had an E at the end for me. It was spelled Tasty EE, but it was FREEZE for me. And now it's just freeze, no way. Curious, are you familiar with this at all?
Yeah, that sounds familiar the way you said it. Oh, yeah.
Teresa,
Yeah, I think I
you
agree
remembered it with an E, right?
A Z.
Yeah, I remember the way you do.
And what about you, Damian?
You know what? We did have some of these up here, not that many, but I think maybe in British Columbia. Same though. I do remember the full name, and I did ask a few people, and I did find some residual on this, but I don't know if I could find it here quick.
That's okay,
I
because I
don't
have
think I
some
had
in
it
here.
organized. Yeah. No,
It's just not in
definitely.
order, I'm sure. All right, so Teresa found this sticker here with the green on top, light. Although it's got a white in the middle instead of yellow. I'm sure they're just cheap stickers. All right, so this is interesting. This is the logo I remember of the Gong Show. But the next image is how it is. With the letters filled in and the G's looking like Pac-Mans.
I do remember the O's like being filled in for some reason.
I could see the O, but the letters are all
But
off for me.
but the other ones.
Because the O could be the gong, right?
Right.
But those letters are crazy. I don't remember them.
That's it from this folder.
Yeah. The rest is if you want to go to Just for Men, there's a Just for Men folder.
Yeah,
It's just 3 pictures.
for sure. Just a sec.
I don't know if you can pull up the Logopedia one first.
The picture?
Yeah, from Logopedia.
Yep.
All right, guys. So these are the logos they have on Logopedia. And I don't remember the first one really because never heard of it back then. But the second one I remember, and the third one I remember, except for that E and N being merged and the E sticking out in the back of it. I don't remember that. But the images I have don't match any of these.
No, right, because they merged now too. The M and the E and the.
So if you want to show them the other images that I have.
Yeah.
And what's that number 1 red bar? The J and the M make a number 1. And then there's that red bar.
Never saw that before either, but you're right.
And then the M and the E obviously is 1 letter now. It looks like IV, Ivan. Looking at it really quick.
It does.
We lost Teresa, and she's backstage.
Uh-oh.
There she is. She's back. And now the E is broken there.
Yes.
You see that?
Which is another trend too that you see.
Yeah. All right. So why don't you give an introduction? That page had up about the letter A.
Sure. So we've had a lot of changes with letters, as we know, and I think a couple things to note. I mean, I don't know. We could spend, like I said, a year. I think a week, one show a week for a year on letter changes, just with how many there have been. A alone. These are all the different patterns that I've noticed and others have noticed. I mean, for capital A, and then you've got lower A changes as well. So, of course, your inverted V or lambda, some people say, and which is probably the most common change, that and the half, kind of the half bar. And then your pyramids and your broken pyramids are even more prevalent than a pyramid itself. And then you have some other, you got your slanted A's, and then some kind of combinations of these that seem to be appearing. And as you and I were talking earlier, the weird thing about the letters is that you can't really look for new things now because these have been brought into our reality and are being used, and their fonts now, they're fonts that can be chosen, and graphic designers are choosing them, and companies are choosing them to actually use them. You don't know if it's a marketing decision now or if it is a me, unless you knew, you did see it change before and after again. So you'd have to kind of rely on somebody saying, no, it wasn't that way. Looking backwards, I find is easier to try and find things that we knew and that we do remember not having these, and then looking for them.
I agree.
Anybody, any other comments about?
I mean, there is other things going on with the letter A more than any of the other ones. It's A I'm seeing it more. These little like pointy flags coming off. Like if you look at just the regular A, right? The top of it. If you make a little pointy flag going off the top of the A. And I have examples of this. Like I'm seeing these weird stylistic additions being added to letters back in the 80s and the 70s and the 60s, and it's weird. So there's also weird stuff like that in addition to the actual letter changing.
And you know, we all agree that was not the style then. The style then was to be very clear. They were really, then admirable was the clear, nothing like the fancy stuff we see now. Just nice and clear and normal,
Good use of white space and block letters, and yeah, definitely in the 70s for sure, and earlier. I mean,
no, nothing like what we see.
No.
Now.
So I've got some old ones that are they're not really new me's. So some are old, some are maybe some things that people haven't seen before. The ones that get me though are the ones you do know from the past, and you go, no, it didn't look like that. And then some are really old, which just blow my mind. And it's the ones from the 20s and 30s even, and 40s that show up and you go, no, there's just no way. So, of course, one of the first me's, this is one of the first ones I experienced, was Samsung. And I always remembered it with an A, and not that long ago. And now, of course, it's got the upside down V. So that was a big one. And a lot of us have Samsung phones and TVs, and yeah, it just looks so odd. And again, if you go back, it's just strange. And another old one, and I mean, if you look back, apparently this latest one has been in place since 1993. And I'm like, there's no way. It's 27 years old. Like,
right.
There's just no way.
No. 27 years.
Yeah. 27 years. And it's like, just no way. Of course, Kia is the other one. And it's interesting because it's the red logo that I specifically remember seeing it on cars with an A. And, of course, the little nubs on the letters, too, I think are also changes. And again,
yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Those little stylistic.
Yeah, lots of that happening, too, right? And hooks or kind of claws or even on some. And exactly. And so.
Yeah, and the eye look like a number one.
And there's a lot of that happening with the eyes. And of course, you look back, but even back to like 86 to 94, there's your other A-me, and that is with the broken A.
Yeah, I've never seen that logo. And
I've never seen it either. And the one I specifically remember is the 94 to 2002 with the red background, but it had a full A, and you cannot find a picture of that. Actually,
I found one.
No, really? I
gotta go find it. But I found one picture. It was a grill of a car.
Right.
With the A. And it's horrible quality.
With that red background. That's interesting because
Oh, I don't know if it's the red background. It might be black.
Yeah, see,
I'll find
that
it.
I've seen. I cannot find the red background again, but I know that's one I remember clearly. Just can't find it.
I found Kia with an actual A. Like not an upside down V.
Well, it's interesting because if you sometimes on the buildings they still have the A in the logo.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Not
very often, but
I haven't seen that.
No, I'll try and find one and bring it in a future show.
Okay.
But I did notice that.
I'm gonna go look at my favorites folder. You can go on. I'm just gonna look
for sure. And then, I mean, another huge one was Saturn, right? I mean, was it the top one or the bottom one? And I mean, this has more than the upside down A, V for an A. And also the merged U and R, and even the affected R with the kind of the broken R, I call it, where it's open. Just so odd. And I know that's a big one for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And of course, it's the bottom one. Here, I mean, a commercial from 1993 showing it was that way, but there's no way.
I showed it to Joey. Joey used to have a Saturn. He doesn't remember it like that at all.
Interesting. And this is another one that gets me, and it's not the new version. It's an older version of or an older logo for Federal Express, but it having the A changed, and the other letters are affected too. You've got connected letters. You got the RA connected, of course. The S's are typical S's now, where they kind of flatten out. But that one is an odd one for me. And I mean, here's a commercial from 1970 with that logo. I know the logo didn't look like that in the 70s.
That commercial is from 1970?
Yeah, maybe early 70s, I think it was.
Yeah, we've covered this one too before. I don't remember that at all.
No.
At all.
That's the strange thing about the logos too, is it's not always the new ones that change. It's actually older ones.
Yeah, those are the ones that bother me the most, because
this logo,
we grew up with this stuff.
Exactly. Well, this one was supposed to be in from 1973 to 1994, and there's just no way. This is a big one for me.
Yep.
And lots of changes there too, and Space Mountain.
Yeah.
At both locations, and a lot of changes in here too. The N change is probably one of the more recent changes, where the crossbar is actually sliding up the right leg.
I've been to Disney World 14 times. I love Space Mountain, and it was not like that for me. I did find residue of that one, but again, I'd have to look for it.
Well, I thought this was interesting. So this was apparently from 1993, and it looked like that apparently, and also has the Federal Express, because they actually took over as the sponsor.
Of course they did.
Oh, of course. Yeah, it just looks...
Curiouser, do you guys remember any of this? You guys are quiet. Oh, we lost Curiouser. She's in the background.
Oh, did we? Okay.
She's back. She's back.
She's back.
Curiouser?
Yes. Hi.
Hi. Do you remember any of this?
I was trying to upload my avatar, and I couldn't. I'm trying to figure out how it works, and I have no idea how it works. So, do I remember? Let's see. It says, hold on. Your browser has lost connection to your camera. Make sure no apps are using your camera. I don't understand how this works. That's
I'm
right.
sending you
Space Mountain.
Oh, sorry, go on.
I see it. Do I remember it? It didn't look like that. The N and the T are merged.
Oh, more than that. There's an upside down A, the V, the N and the T are merged. The M is this sharp, pointy, horrible thing. The E goes beyond into the C. It's a mess. The whole thing's a mess.
Yeah, the whole thing.
Yeah, I don't remember anything like that. No, it doesn't look right at all. Yeah.
Teresa must go there once in a while, living so close. Well, 6 hours away, maybe.
Yeah. Well, but no, I've been to Disney World 14 times. I was on that ride over and over and over again. And when I went for 14 times, like 10 of them was for 2 weeks at a time. I was there all the time. The sign was never like that.
No way. Look at that. They're all merged. Look at the A. I saw a customer came in the store with a shirt that said Alaska on it, and all the A's in Alaska were like that, or upside down B's. Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah, I saw one last night. We had a few people at a campfire and kind of a birthday party, and the one guy had a shirt on and had upside down A's on it, and it's just showing up everywhere.
Yeah,
now.
Everywhere.
Here's another one too that I never heard of this company, and this isn't new. This is from the 80s. It's called Airborne Express. Apparently based out of Seattle. And I think, I've got it on here. Airborne Express apparently started in 1946 to fly flowers from Hawaii to the U.S. mainland, and then turned into a huge express company, like Federal Express.
Heard of it.
And I've never heard of them. I thought, well, maybe I wanted to put that out to everybody from the U.S. and say, is this something you've heard of? Because apparently they were fairly large.
Wait, not only have I never heard of it, my stepdad owned his own company, would ship cargo all the time. I've never heard of this company.
And that's a weird phenomenon that seems to happen part of the phenomenon, and that's products. And some people brought this up from time to time of products kind of showing up, like the 666 cold medicine and other products that never heard of them before, and they just seem to pop up from the 70s and 80s, and I know I've noticed lots too.
Mm-hmm.
So this one was a weird one.
Is Teresa here? Teresa, are you here? I want to see what she thinks of all this, and she's not even answering. All right, go on. I'm sorry. I guess she's not there.
I wanted to give her a chance. I'd be interested in the chat or in the comments after to see if anybody remembers this one. And then, of course, Brian Stavely, this one's for you. I know this is your favorite, one of your favorite organizations. But NASA, of course, whether you believe in space or not, and we know how much they lie. But going back to this was the logo from 75 to 92, and then now from 20, of course, on. And just had a article from 1986 showing that the logo was like that back then. It definitely wasn't. And this one changed a couple times because, of course, the A's changed first, and then the A and the S connected later for me.
Agreed. But sometimes I still find the NASA logo with regular A's on T-shirts and all sorts of things. It's
for sure.
It's like they didn't get the memo that it's been like this for 40 years.
No, exactly. I won't keep that one on there too long. Brian might have a heart attack. This is a Canadian one, so via rail. And this was a big change for me too, because there's no way. And I mean, I found our advertisements going back to 1983 showing it this way, and the A was never like that. So I don't know if anybody else in the chat or anywhere else is familiar with this one, but definitely a change for me.
I am not, but I can see it. I could see it. It probably wasn't like that. I just know if it's anything before the 2000s, I would say it's a definite change for me. Anything before the 2000s, if it's got that upside down A,
definitely
that's a change. At least in my book. And
that was supposed to be from 1977 to present.
No, we lost Curiouser again. Teresa's not here. I guess it's just us.
We can carry forward.
Okay, so oh, this is yours. I have this one too. But go on.
Yeah, this is an older one too that I just, from the 80s when Neil Diamond came out and the jazz singer. So this is a record sleeve, I think, just for a single. And then it was a poster or something. And just, what's interesting about this is they're from the same time era, but you'll know, and they're both official. And the jazz is the same, and even with the T extended over top and the H and the E connected. And Singer is exactly the same except for the R. And I found that really odd that it was identical except for the sleeve has that broken R, which is showing up too.
Well, that is really interesting. I never saw the poster before, only the cover.
Mm-hmm. And it's the same, so it's just really odd that the R would be the only one different.
That is really interesting.
But definitely wasn't like that.
No.
I don't know if anybody remembers this show. It's an old show from the 80s. Wasn't on too long, only 12 episodes, and 1983 and 84. But it didn't have the broken letter or the upside down V for the A either.
Wow. That's the 80s. Forget it. No way.
Now, this one's a big one for me because and these are from the 80s as well.
Same.
And my mom she was on a subscription and she had these. And so they were always laying around. And
so was mine. I covered these too for the same reason.
I think they were so popular in the 80s, right? And the A never looked like that. And then the merging, and then also that E being cut off at the top like that and extended at a slant. That kind of, some of that happened, I think, after. But yeah, it just blew my mind because that one I had a really strong recollection.
Now we've lost Teresa.
No, there. And and I know these aren't new for everyone. We're just kind of grouping them together under the changes to A. So a game, again, from kind of the 70s and 80s, I believe. 74 is when it came out. The Pyramid.
Mm-hmm.
Home game.
I think this is the remake of like in the 90s, but still like the 90s when that image was taken. That's the remake of it. The original one was a different host.
No, that's that would have to be from the 70s. That's Donnie or Donnie Osmond.
It is?
No, Donnie and Marie. Yeah, he hosted, I think, the original. So yeah, no, this is from 1974.
That doesn't make sense. I thought it was. I can't look. Oh, I can't look. Hold on for a minute. I gotta look it up because I could have sworn it was like someone like Art Linkletter or something.
I thought it was odd too. I don't know if he just maybe the home game. He's.
I think it used to be called in the 70s the $25,000 pyramid.
Well, and that's what it. Yes, there was that. So maybe it is, but it's weird because it shows it as 19. Maybe I have to research this a little bit more.
Yeah, because it came out and it was 73 to 1988. Mm-hmm. Then it started up again in 2012.
It might have started. This would have to be before then, though. So maybe there was another one in between.
And it was with Dick Clark. Dick Clark, then Bill Cullen, then John Davidson, then Donnie Osmond, Mike Richards, and then Michael Strahan. Wow.
They must have made a change along the way, whether it was originally there or not. I don't
know. That's still from, like I said, the 90s, and there shouldn't be merging letters upside down.
Connected.
No, that's all wrong. And the D it's so much bigger. It's bigger than it looks like it's bigger than the P. I'm not even sure.
Well, you know what? That's another trend that I've been seeing with some of the changes, and that is that it starts large, gets smaller, and then ends large. And that's what the effect's trying to do there. The P is larger too, right? You see how it's kind of curved? That's something else I've seen, and I've caught actually a couple changes with that are changes. I'm definite are changes. And so that's kind of another thing as an identifier sometimes for those changes. So very well could be. Yeah, and those broken P's are showing up everywhere as well.
Yep.
Another big one for me was the MCA records and MCA as a whole, because this is going back to 72, right? From 72 through to like 2000, that the C and A were connected and the A is the upside down V, and that E, of course.
Yep.
Know for a fact, because I mean, 100 tapes and cassette tapes and singles and records and even my own have changed, of course, but they weren't like that.
Yeah, I agree, and especially the E for me. The E is worse for me than the A in this one.
Yeah, they both stand out for me because they were block letters and separate.
I did send you the thing in Messenger.
Okay. I see Curious&Curiouser is back, or Curious&Curiouser.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm getting as bad as Teresa now. I was trying to get my avatar in, but I don't know how. Sometime day I'll learn.
It's okay.
Sorry.
At least you're here. Teresa left and never came back.
Uh-oh.
How about you, Crystal? Do you remember MCA looking like this on older records, older cassette tapes?
Let's see.
With the upside down, the A missing the crossbar and connected to C and A. The E looking
not
like
at all.
3 lines. Yeah.
Definitely not. No.
Oh, there's Kia. So this is what you were sharing. Yeah, so the black one. But it doesn't have the, at the very bottom there. I see.
Yeah, it has a letter A.
Isn't that interesting? Yeah, it does. Nice catch.
But I don't know if you can zoom in because it's hard for them to see.
I think it's pretty blurry. It's probably gonna
blur out, yeah.
Yeah. No, it's getting smaller too. So it won't zoom in.
Just trust me, guys. There's an A there.
There is. Huh. Crazy.
And then Corsica, the C and the A is merged. And that's one of the little plaques from the back of the car. That's an old car. And it's got C and the A merged.
Yeah, lots of that going on. A lot of the brand names on the cars, the badges, are lots of changes. It's definitely one where that's kind of where I started noticing a lot of the letter changes to begin with, because I was watching vehicles. It's crazy. And then, of course, the other MCA, like video disc, which was old, and Universal.
Speaking of the video disc, I had never heard of them. I knew about laser discs, but video discs, no. They're a Mandela effect for me.
Yeah,
I know laser discs existed, but like RCA invented the video disc, and then I guess MCA made them as well now. But
I mean, they didn't last very long, did they?
No,
a few years, but they weren't very popular.
We had a laser disc player. Like we actually had a laser disc player. A lot of people didn't have them. Like we were like the most popular kids in our class.
I bet.
Would come over and watch the video, the laser discs. So if anybody should have heard about video discs, it should have been us, because we had the competitor product. Like we had VHS and we knew what beta was. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yeah. No, for sure. Yeah. No, I never heard of them either. I did hear about the laser disc though.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, this is weird. I don't know this. It's San Diego based. Apparently, I don't know how spread out they are. We don't have them up here, but this is crazy. From 1986.
Oh my gosh. 1986.
Yeah, I wasn't able to find out much about the brand. There's not much online. I think it was kind of more of a local area brand, so there isn't tons, but that's just crazy. You got merging, you got connecting here. And again, in the 80s, no, they just didn't do this.
No.
Here's from 1979. Can't say 100% because I don't know the company, but yeah, no, 1979.
That's in New Jersey. Or it could be Indiana. That could be oh no, New Jersey at the top. Even look at the S. It's kind of, I don't know. It looks like it should be advertising tools, not shoes.
I agree. When I look at the C, I know it looks like a wrench head.
Yeah. So weird.
Oh, and this, we used to have one of these, and then from 1982, and yeah, if you look at LeBaron, the A in
that
Baron.
Chrysler symbol looks all messed up too.
Oh
my goodness.
And the broken A's at the bottom in available, or in sedan, or R.
See, the ones that were on television really get me.
Well, we were saying this the other day, that especially us that grew up in the 70s and 80s and 90s, we were TV kids, right?
Generation.
We were the television generation, and we were lambasted with commercials, and they're just ingrained in your head.
Welcome back, Teresa Lynch. Finally.
Oh, she's back.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you.
You okay?
I don't know this.
Is she okay? Teresa?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay, because I was asking you to come in and we couldn't hear you.
Yeah, we were trying to connect with you. Could you hear us, or? Because your avatar was in the room, but you weren't responding.
Lost consciousness.
Oh no.
Oh, okay.
Sandy knows what I mean.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Fizzy
Ocean
says you sound sad.
She did.
What?
Fizzy says you sound sad. Curious, are you here?
Yeah.
Oh, she's here. Yep, she's here. Okay, so when is this from?
1980s.
1980s. Oh no.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with it. I just, again, it's got the broken E's, the upside down
I'm familiar with Ocean Pacific. Their new logo is like an OP.
Oh, right. Okay. I wasn't sure if this was.
No.
Yeah, no. This one's crazy.
No.
So this is from 1979 too, and it's just completely.
Oh my goodness.
From New Jersey.
Oh my gosh. No.
And
look at Forbes, even Forbes.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm wondering if that R just changed, because if you notice, I highlighted all the changes, and I didn't get the P either, or
the FO.
I'm pretty sure I would have. Interesting. Or the N on garden. It's creeping up and new.
Well, there's just a lot going on there.
Yeah,
there's so much going on there.
The whole thing. And this one gets me too. I remember Kodak Super Life batteries and Ultra Life, but I do not remember them. Don't you? Oh, I do. They weren't very popular. Of course, Duracell and Everlast and Everready, but Kodak did have a battery line, but I do not remember the upside down A's at all.
And the P's and the R's are broken.
See, and I think that's newer too, from when I originally captured these.
Brian Staley just put it very well. It's a jumbled Mandela mess. That's exactly what these letter changes are.
This was a local one for me in where I live with the intra. You can't even tell it says intra. The T and R merged so much in the A and the upside
And
down.
that's from what years I heard? 87?
This is from 87. And there's, it didn't look like that. I know that for a fact.
No. Fizzy.
Oh.
Fizzy's being obscene in the chat.
Is she? All right, Fizzy. I'm going to get my taser out. Here were a couple
There's
more.
a lot of tasers in that chat. Be very careful. Wow, casual mail.
Yeah,
Is that the
I know.
same casual mail, or is it the casual mail? Is that different?
I don't know this brand or company, but it definitely looks odd.
I'm looking it up.
And I never caught where it was from.
I'm going to see if it's on Logopedia. See if they change from the to regular.
Sure. And I can't remember where this one's from either, but it's a provider of DirecTV.
Interesting. That is really messed up. That's another change with the little cutouts between the little triangular cutouts. When I search the casual mail comes up. So I wonder if that was the original name. Yeah.
Could be.
Oh my God.
And Kodak
Really?
made a camera, the Star 535, 1992.
There's
Definitely
so many.
It's endless.
So
it
many
really is.
weird letters in our past that weren't there.
And this I remember because it was flashed on the TV again a million times. The company Lorimar. And
I have never seen that before.
Seriously?
No,
Like the name,
I've never
Lorimar.
heard of it. Never.
See, now I know this.
Yeah, I do too, really well. There's a U.S. based out of the U.S. I mean, we got all U.S. channels, but yeah, I saw it all the time. But in 1984, I know it didn't look like this.
I remember this starting at one point and going across the screen to make the letters, but the A went across, like the line split and it went across to make an A. And I don't remember the R's being broken. They touched.
Right, and they didn't have that long of a leg.
No.
And this was just, it's just another example from the 80s that, again, with the A, and that broken R like that is also appearing in a lot of places and never existed for me before. And unfortunately, the flag is not residue. This was just a toy, again, from the mid-80s that has that broken R and the A's.
Takara. And it's see now that weird space is also a thing too. The TAK space.
I know, yeah.
I'm finding that in weird things. I just covered on Mandela Monday the movie Cloak and Dagger. The poster is Dag Space Gur. For no reason. It's just weird. These weird, they're patterns. That's what I'm getting at. All these changes are a pattern that continues through different things. So we should be paying attention to this.
Well,
I don't know why we should, but we should be.
I just can't see it being natural, right? Like without intelligence behind it.
I agree.
This was weird. So 1946 paper, Canadian paper, where I live, and they made this monument, and it now has the right A's. I was able to follow up, but shows that, and if you zoom in, you can see that it's just so bizarre.
I'm going to let you continue. Joey needs me for 1 second. I
Sure.
can hear you. I just can't chime in.
And Teresa and Crystal, if you guys have anything to say about anything, please jump in.
Okay.
These are just other examples that I've found along the way. I honestly can't say some of them are, or if they are just now new marketing. That's the thing with newer ones. You have to be really careful because it's so common now that companies are starting to use these. And so it's hard to notice new ones, or you might notice new ones, but it's hard to know if they're actually a change or if it's just something they're applying in marketing, or their graphic designers are selecting because that spreads quickly through that through that group. They copy from each other wildly, and what's kind of hip at the moment. It definitely fit the trend, but it's so much easier going backwards and finding things that you did know. But these were some that again maybe changes for you, and some it's hard to know for sure. Just everywhere though. You're just starting to see it everywhere.
Sorry, my stepson had his stepsister here for a second, so he wanted me to say hi. I'm back. What did I miss?
We were just talking, and I'm showing some that I said this is showing up everywhere now, right? You see it everywhere, but the newer ones, it's really hard to know if they're actual changes, or is it just a marketing? Are they actually designing them that way? And that's where you have to be careful with new ones. You can't really look for new changes. It's hard, except for looking in older things. Unless you happen to see it and then see it change suddenly.
Yeah, like if you have an Asus computer from 1993.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure, but
that's my computer.
But
like I said, some of these I don't know if they really were changed. Almost Human, that was a TV show. I do not remember that show having the A's the way
I don't
it is
either.
here.
I used to watch that show.
So that one I'm pretty sure. The others I couldn't say for sure. Passengers, I'm not sure if they had two different posters, because you can find both. I'm having a hard time finding this one now, with the A and the E, the way they are in the broken R, and definitely fits the pattern. But again,
Damian, can you go back to the photograph from the 40s, the Canada photograph? Carla's asking, is that the cent sign, like this with the double lines? What was the symbol of the Canada sign?
That, you know what? I don't know what it. Was my first thought. It was the cent sign, but it's odd because two strikes through it. I don't know what. It's not familiar to me. It's not something that's common, and I couldn't find anything on it. Something I have to look into more, maybe, and try and find out. I don't think it would be the cent sign though, because it's not. It's nothing to do with money, so it wouldn't make sense.
Strange.
Interesting.
I don't know if anybody else in the chat.
I have no idea what that could be.
No, I don't either. It's something I'm going to look into it. It does, every time I look at it, it grabs my attention too, and I go, what does it represent? I couldn't find much on this other than, and even trying to find images online was really tough. There may have even been more than one monument built across Canada. But yeah, it's such an odd. I don't know if it's commemorative, if it's related to that. Some symbol for us bowing to the Queen, probably. And here are some other ones. RCA for me has changed. Yes. I don't remember the A being a mirror image of the R.
It's different.
Weird looking.
Yep.
I work for RCA. I don't remember this logo.
No way.
Until recently.
And again, the other ones, might just be new. Foodland for me has changed.
Oh, wow, look at that. Squashed together.
Wow.
Wow.
Again, just everywhere, right? Like they're just showing up
Wow.
absolutely everywhere.
I know it. I work Damian. Damian, I work in a store. I work in a store. I see logos all the time. And they'll just change. They'll just change right there in the store. Same logo.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Will be different next time I look at it. Yep.
Yeah. No. I said it's hard. It's getting hard though to know because it's like I said, it's so prevalent. And then like I said, so many companies now are just I think choosing to use it because it's fonts that are available.
There's a question on the screen I want to answer when you're done.
Please.
No, go on. You just go on. When you're done talking, I just want to answer the question on the screen.
Again, another great place to look or to find the changes that definitely happened were on cars and vehicles with their name badges. You'll see it in a lot of changes.
Yeah. I did a whole folder. I have a whole folder in Flickr on just cars alone. The cars have so many changes with car themes.
So true. Video games.
Hi, Carla.
I always ask my kids if they notice these, and they don't notice them changing, but and there's that Mont Blanc that we caught changing, the star. Remember the...
Oh. Oh.
Wow.
The only American car I know, I was into car magazines all the time, and I know it didn't have, it had a regular A.
And then you have the Mont Blanc.
Mont Blanc. So, again, just everywhere.
Oh, wow.
So what do you think, personally, your opinion, your theory, what do you think, why do you think the letters are merging?
The merging part of it?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know I've heard theories that it's, it's trying to tell us realities are merging, or things are merging into a singularity type idea. There was times I thought, if we're bouncing from reality to reality, and is it somehow kind of, are they tainting each other, and somehow they get crossed over, and so they end up out of whack. But they wouldn't be so perfect then either if that was happening. You know what I mean? They'd be off center, and there'd be other things happening, not just merging so perfectly that it looks like it was intentionally done. So I really don't think that. Those are some things I've heard. I don't know. What do people in the chat think? What do you guys think?
I mean, I do believe that it could have something to do with realities merging. But I don't know. I don't know if I think that possibly our entire alphabet could be changing.
Mm-hmm.
Just that we're going to eventually have a new alphabet where maybe there's less letters or something, or new letters, that sort of like it's going back to the Latin almost.
Yeah, but why? Why a new alphabet? Why?
A lot of Greek symbols, and I know Carla mentioned that in the chat too earlier, and other people have mentioned that too. Yeah, it's strange. I don't know.
But why would an alphabet change? Do you think there's an intelligence behind it that wants the alphabet changed?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we hear you.
Oh, okay. That's the question. I know you can't answer it, but I don't know. That makes you think.
Again, or just awareness, just to make people realize.
Mm-hmm.
But most don't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. It's strange.
All right, well, really quickly, I'm going to answer Carla's question.
Mm-hmm.
She said, okay, this is weird. The dollar sign we all know used to have 2 solid lines. The last time I looked on my keyboard, it had 1 solid line, then went all the way through the S. When did this happen? The 1 solid line going through the S?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, the man's excuse, that's what I'm calling it now, is that the dollar sign with 2 lines came from the fact that it used to be on money bags from the bank, from the mint, US. So the U superimposed on the S would make 2 lines through the S. That's the reasoning now.
That's so weird.
But 2 years ago when I looked it up, it said that, and I don't remember the exact reason it gave. Of course, I can't remember it, and I can't find it anywhere either. But like, it used to be 2, but they dropped 1 line because it was easier to see on keyboards or typewriters or something like that. I can't find that excuse anywhere. That's why I'm calling this a man's excuse, because the reason has now changed. And they're saying that it used to be a monogram on the bags. That's it. It doesn't say why we switched to 1, but it was 2 lines at one point in history now. Don't know why. I would have to watch a YouTube video or read some more, but basically what I'm getting from all the results is it comes from the U superimposed on the S on the mint bags. That's where the 2 lines came from.
Strange. Yeah, and I don't know when. Did they say when it changed or when they?
Broken all the way through the S is a new one for me. Oh, you mean like it sticks out the top and it sticks out at the bottom? I'm asking Carla because I'm trying to understand.
Mm-hmm.
Because if that's the case, it's always stuck out the top and the bottom for me.
I think she's asking about the one where the line doesn't go all the way through, and they just show the line at the top and the line at the underneath the S.
Oh, like that.
Mm-hmm. I mean, like in the chat font. Yeah, I know. I've seen that too. I don't know.
That's new for me. What about you, Curiouser?
It's new for me too. Definitely.
It's been that way a long time, I think. Like it changed for me a long time ago.
That's weird.
Big one for me.
Artist?
United Artists, you mean?
Yeah, it looks. I noticed it. It's really off because I used to go to the movies all the time.
Oh, for sure.
Time ago. And
this
I don't ever remember it looking like this. Yeah.
And that's from 2000.
Yeah.
And you see the U and N are merged.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the S and the T are connected. And here's the same logo from 1989.
Yeah.
And I also don't remember the line straight across the top. See, the thing is, I'm glad you're showing the page.
Mm-hmm.
There's merged letters everywhere.
Oh, everywhere. Exactly.
It's not like there's like one logo that's merged and maybe we missed it growing up as kids.
No,
like we'd be looking at this to check out the movie times. We would see merging everywhere, and we didn't, because it wasn't there.
No.
Well, and some of the changes are actually happening right in the text as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like the one, for example, is the F and the I. When you have a lowercase f and an I following it, where the F reaches the bar across the F reaches over, connects to the I, and the dot's gone on the I. You can find that in the text even. The slanted small lowercase e's you can find in the text everywhere. The changed G's you can find in the text. So it's also right in the text itself, not even just in brands and posters and company names. So on to the pyramids, the broken pyramids. So this is a big one for me. And again, this is an older one, 1978, 79, when Battlestar Galactica came out. Teresa, you should remember this. Is she here again, or is she gone? Or Crystal, maybe you? Anyways, one of my favorite shows. I do not remember the letters being connected or the A's looking like that. It looked, I tried to recreate it on the right to what I remembered.
Okay.
I definitely remember the right. I don't know.
Yeah.
Except the A's are broken in Battlestar, which they weren't broken either. But that's a big one for me. This was an early one I found probably 5 years ago. And it kind of blew me away because I had old comic books laying around and I was looking through them for things as well. And I found this, this page in the back of the comic books, all the advertising in there too. And they sold shirts. And you can see on the shirt, well, one of them, or three of them, they have more of the regular spelling. And then two are the new crazy way of spelling it, but blew me away to see that.
I don't know where it is, but somewhere I found one where it has the regular A's.
There's some on here, like on the t-shirts. This is here.
Oh, I can't see them there. That they're really small.
Yeah, they're pretty tiny on here.
I'll just take your word for it, though. But I'm sure if I make it bigger and lose the chat, I could see it. This has changed for me.
Yeah,
like,
this
since
is
the last time I covered it.
Oh, really? Which, the Gallant?
Yeah.
Which the L had changed? Yeah, the L's changed. I saw that too, because it was like above. And actually, I know this changed because this was a personal for me because I owned a 2005 Mitsubishi Gallant, and it changed on the car. But that L has changed definitely.
And the A's are slanted.
And the G being so long and T stretching as well. So again, lots of cars. Again, Camry has changed again as well. Because when I originally pulled this, Camry, the letters were all separate. But it had the A.
Oh, no. I covered Camry when it was like this, but it didn't have those long spikes on the R and the Y.
Right.
And that's also kind of slanting. The C's slanting a bit. And I just covered these. Maybe it was, all right, it wasn't just. It was about a year ago. But it was about a year ago. It was already merged and it had the A, but the A wasn't broken. It was just a triangle. And like I said, it didn't have those weird
kind of
like they
extensions again.
Sharp.
Nubs. The nubs. Yeah. No, and I know 4 years ago they weren't even connected yet. It had the A at that time, but that was really the only thing that had changed into the broken pyramid. And Avalanche, the older version of the logo too, was a crazy change for me. And I think I shared this with you guys before. From the 1980s, Sonata did not have the broken letters or the broken pyramid A's. And again, they're just starting to show up everywhere.
Daewoo, I don't remember the W crossing.
No, and that's something that's happening with W's, right? They look like two V's. And you're starting to see that in older stuff all over the place too. Another one with the K's where the front part of the K the point just touches the backside. That's happening as well. Transformers. So not only the new ones, and of course Dark of the Moon, that's been covered. Because I remember Dark Side of the Moon. Dark of the Moon doesn't make sense. And the original Transformers as well.
Dark of the Moon.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's absolutely crazy. Guys in the chat, do you remember Dark of the Moon? Or do you remember Dark Side of the Moon? I have another one like that where a whole word just disappeared.
What's that?
It's well, I don't know if it's a change or not because it's confusing. It says that the film series is called Fast and Furious, but I remember The Fast and the Furious. But then I can still find The Fast and the Furious. So it's confusing. I don't understand why Fast and Furious is the series title.
You know what? That word "the" when it gets inserted or taken away it's so tough. It's like for me, the Mama and Papas, or was it the Mama and the Papas?
Yeah. Listen, Tommy Tell the Truth, Ted Summer, Splatter 420, Carla Red Pill, all remember Dark Side.
Yeah, that's pretty much. Yeah, it was Dark Side for me too. Yeah, that one was covered 5 years ago too. And then again, just some earlier ones, 1984. Again, you just didn't see this.
Even the logo, the S&C.
I know the S&C emerged, yeah, and that's kind of flattened out S. Like you can't even tell if you saw that logo by itself. There's no way I could guess that was SC.
No.
Without seeing the name. I wouldn't even know what it's. I wouldn't see it as letters probably.
Oh.
Yeah, it's odd.
But why did they spell crazy with 2 E's? Like, I don't understand.
I don't know if that was just, I never.
I don't know, it's just weird.
Don't you remember, Sandy? That's how it used to be spelled.
Yeah, I guess.
Right, Teresa?
No, it's like there's no more rules with lettering.
Yeah,
there's no more rules with words. They can be whatever they want, and you're just expected to know what it means.
It's true
and
now.
Don't question it. Don't question it.
Carla remembers the Mamas and the Papas. The two does to me look so odd. I just don't, but I'm not certain on that one, so.
But Betty Wolf remembers the Mamas and Papas.
I was just looking at that. That's what I remember. The Mamas and Papas. This one changed for me. For sure. Again, that's
absolutely.
Same with FDA. It's changed several times.
Yep. I actually have that one in my folder too, I think. Yeah, but I have the older one before the lines were in it. And it also has the I Like This.
Yes.
Wow.
Sega.
Wow.
Was covered.
The G and the A were not merged.
Real D, 3D. A lot of the movie theaters and their brands, related brands.
Wow.
Lots of changes in them.
What were you going to say, Teresa? Teresa?
I'm sorry?
What were you going to say?
I was going to ask him how he found all these. Wow, that's a lot of work.
You know what?
How did you?
Most of them 4 years ago, and I'm glad I did at the time.
4 years?
Yeah, there's been changes to some of them since, like further changes. Like the G and A in Sega wasn't connected before. I don't know when that happened, but it was after I collected this for sure.
So you're telling me a lot of your pictures you're showing here have changed over the last 4 years?
Not a lot, but definitely little subtle changes to some of them, for sure.
Wow.
And it's hard,
That's crazy.
like, and to try and remember everyone. I couldn't do it. There's some I can go, yeah, I knew they weren't, like, I don't know with the merging on these ones, or you see how they're merging together and connecting? I can't tell you if they were or not to begin with. I know the A's, I captured it because of the A's. But it seems like they're maybe tighter together than they were.
I've covered these, and not just because they're merged, but I did cover them because they're merged, and I don't remember them being merged.
No, I don't either.
But Game Boy was advanced with a D on the end for me.
And I remember that was... I think Noble D brought that up on Dan's show.
No, I brought that up.
Or you did? Me. Okay. Sorry. Shouldn't give Noble. I can't give Noble credit if you did it. I thought he talked about it too. Maybe he talked about it another time as well. I don't know.
He may have.
That's weird because I swore it was him. Sorry about that. And Walkman for me.
It's okay.
Wow.
Another one.
Whoa, when did Walkman? 2000? It's been like that for 20 years.
And there's merging and there's connecting and just weird.
No way.
That one's new for me.
Me too. Nice find, Damian.
And again, I captured that like 4 years ago.
Wow.
This was a local place too, but again, just didn't see this back then in 1983. Oh, and I highlighted the 666 at the bottom. That's the other thing I noticed. I don't like Sandy. I know you look in a lot. You watch a lot of the commercials, the old commercials on YouTube, and I think you do. And Teresa, I don't know if you are too. Checking those out for different things. The other thing I find really bizarre is I'm finding a lot of the numbers on, like, if it's a football one, their jerseys, and I don't know if that's just common, but everything, and there seems to be lots of double repeated numbers, triple repeated numbers showing up in the ads, and I'm going, this just seems a little more than coincidence that I don't think they were all like that back then. But I can't be sure, but it just, and I don't know if it's just because I'm aware now and see those numbers all the time, but it just seems
odd. You mean like $9.99?
Yeah, like you'll see 11. I see 11 a lot, or 44 on the commercials.
Like you have the highlighted $9.99. In my past, growing up, like in the 80s, watching infomercials, everything was $9.99 or $19.99.
Right, for prices, I agree. I mean, prices definitely. But football jerseys, news channels, they're like the numbers, like it'll be News 11, Channel 11, or it just seems really a lot of, I'll go through a commercial and I see 44, I see 11 all the time, 33, and I get the prices, because you're right, the prices, everything was right underneath for the dollar values. Do I know why? Yeah.
The man excuse for that. I'm calling it a man excuse too.
Oh, for the dollar values?
Because one penny cheaper makes people think they're getting a deal.
Well, because they're getting it for $9 versus $10. Yeah, that always was a thing for me.
Marketing ploy. You saved a whole penny. Wow.
So here's from 1985.
It's really $10.67 because there's tax.
Yeah, I know. Wow. I really hate those tees. They drive me crazy. Those tees.
The half bar tees, yeah.
That one really, that's when it really triggers me. That one and the inverted A's. The tees really get on my nerves. First time I've seen them, I don't like them.
Another one from 1981.
Amazing that they're merging that N and A up there. Like, why?
Yeah, again, just, 1981, no. Or even in the real images, you got the M connecting with that A, or the E and the S.
Wow.
It's just odd. This one got me. And I know it's been covered several times, but this one really got me, because this one I know for a fact. And the first time I saw it was actually in this newspaper article. because I go back and look at movie posters and the ads, and in 1978, yeah, right. No, Saturday did not have those A's, nor did they have the broken R's.
And the V has that little thing sticking out of it.
Yes, exactly. Like
And
they're
there's
all
actually
extending.
a weird space between. I covered this one too. There's
Between
actually
the E
a
and the
weird
R?
space between
Yeah.
the E and the R. I don't get
Yeah,
that either.
I don't either. No, it's odd. It's the whole thing. But definitely, for me, those A's stuck out. I'm just like, no, it did not
Yeah.
have that back then, and all the movie posters and everything else did not look like that.
I just want to point out before you switch images,
No.
the same thing going on at the bottom. It says Clint Eastwood, Fast, Furious. I just talked about that.
Yeah,
Fast and Furious. That's
it's some
weird.
funny. It is sync.
It's weird.
Huh.
Yeah, Carly Redfield says 1111. That's where I'm seeing the numbers a lot.
Yeah. So here's another pyramid game, but this one's not related to the TV game show. But this is from the 1970s.
Oh, wow.
And I'm just going, no.
See, but then these I could say, well, they were imitating the shape of the game.
The pyramid,
but
yeah. But why the broken? Why a broken pyramid? My thought would have been they would have just done the pyramid, like a solid pyramid.
And what's up with the Hasbro house going down the side? That's weird.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
That's just weird. I don't know.
And I didn't know these tires, but again, same pattern from 1982. It's something you'd expect to see now, right?
Yeah.
Not in 1982. Didn't know this company either. It's an electronic components company from Japan, I'm assuming. But again, from 1988. Those U's are showing up. Yep.
Okay, because it just said I lost connection. That's why I was checking.
Oh, they're back. Everybody's back. Those U's are becoming very common too. They look like, and you'll see if there's a U and an N, they're basically like as above, so below, and mirror images of each other. Yeah. You see a lot of that too.
Yeah, but and this, like we said, the slanting, the M is slanted. The T's have that sideways, that slanted slice in it.
It's completely a mess. I know.
All the letters.
But like you said, they're slowly all changing, and you got to think, where's it going to end up? Like, are they all going to be so changed that we wouldn't?
You know when the letters started changing for me? It's gonna sound weird. They started changing, and I would say probably like around 2013 to 2014. I started noticing these weird letters. Even before I found the Mandela effect, I'd be like, "Oh, that's weird. There's upside down B's." And it was right around the time that I found out that the schools were no longer teaching cursive. I don't know if there's any connection there, but that's around the same time that schools stopped. Like some schools started ending teaching cursive.
Interesting.
And I don't know if there's a connection or not, or because there's kind of like a cursiveness to the way these letters are merged. You know what I'm saying? And the way the A's are. There's kind of
connect when they connect, right? Because cursive, everything you connect.
Right. So like a cursive printing. It's I don't know. It's weird.
It's weird. Yeah, it is.
What were you gonna say, Curiouser?
That is the time I just got graduated from the from art school. When I got my degree, that is when things started changing for me. I thought it was weird because it made me wonder what was going on for sure, because I was gonna try to get a job, and I did, and I was wondering how, the graphic or the yeah, the graphic designers at the school were thinking of all that, and I thought, what the heck, is craziness. Man, like, how are they dealing with that? I don't know. I didn't know it. And that's when the Mandela effect stuff was really happening.
Yeah, I don't know. Teresa, when did you first notice letters changing? Did you notice before you were awake? Are you there, Teresa?
She's coming. Teresa? Teresa?
Darn, that girl went to eat more Doritos again. MDA, it's just a local one. I know I'm very familiar with the Motor Dealers Association of Alberta. I grew up here, and I know that's changed for sure from the 80s.
Yeah, I don't even need to know it to know it changed.
Yeah.
Like I said, if it's before the 2000s, that's a change for me.
Well, and it's just so apparent when you see the changes because you see the same patterns, right? Especially from back then, and like this Barnes Hind. Same paper.
That's another one with the H, with the piece sticking out to be the dash. I'm assuming that should be Barnes dash Hind.
Might have been where the dash is connected to the H, just like Oral-B or U-Haul. That D's weird too. I think it's just a registration mark up in the right-hand corner, but just the lower part of the D.
Yeah.
Kind of strange.
Very strange.
So again, there's that A, just kind of a different version where it extends. And the R again, those R's.
Oh my gosh, that R.
I hate those R's for some reason. They just bug me. And then that one below, Chikora, that's just a mess.
Yeah, that's the R I was talking about in the O. But yeah, that R in the top right, it's everywhere anymore with the line instead of the traditional R shape. It's weird.
It is.
It's just weird. Again, it's on the page and everything. There's more merging in the logos than not on this page.
And that's the thing. You can pick any paper from any year and you'll find tons of things. You know, I don't know if anybody's familiar with the University of West Los Angeles. I'm assuming it's not a huge university.
No, it's not. Never heard of it.
Maybe not in business anymore, but it's so odd.
Oh my goodness. And even the Gearys, the E and the A looks like they're merged a bit. Or about to from here.
It look like they're about to. And the A and the R, probably. And that reaching leg on the R's. That's the thing. That you see going back just everywhere now. The K's and the R's.
Yeah.
And for me, it's the G's are probably the letter that affects me the most. Like in weeknights, these weird G's. Because I swear now, you go through and I'd say past and present, 90% of G's now are all these weird looking G's. It's hard to find what we would call a normal G. And yet I didn't see that G until 2017. I saw it in Walmart. What's the brand that they carry? Clothing.
Equate?
Sorry?
Oh.
What is it?
You're saying clothing?
It's clothing brand Walmart carries. It has the G in it. Was it Wrangler? No. Not Wrangler, but...
Wrangler's one of them.
Yeah, that one's effective. Giorgio. And the G, that little kind of wispy... It looks like a a quail feather. You know how quails have it was colored a different color. And I look at that. That's the weirdest G I've ever seen. Never saw it before that, ever. And yet you go back now to papers in as early as 1880s, and that's all you see is this G and different versions of it. And I'd say next to A, G's are the ones that have the most variations. It's crazy.
Really?
Yeah. I'll show you when we get to them eventually.
Eventually.
Well, we were not going to get to G's today. But Sparkomatic's another one for me because that was pretty common radio back in the 80s. Car radios and...
Really?
And it did not
Maybe in Canada.
Maybe in Canada.
Yeah, because I've never heard of them.
It was a really cheap brand of radio. Like you'd see it in department stores and I think like Canadian Tire. Maybe it's Canadian Tire brand. Maybe that's why it's not. Maybe it's not in the US even. These you used to see all the time, right? Yeah.
Oh my God.
I think every area had their own morning AM, Good Morning America, or... And I didn't remember this cartoon either from the 1980s. It's called Brave Star.
I do, and I remember it with one R.
Okay, and that's kind of stood out for me. And I thought, I think it ran for 3 years. Here's a better picture. But did it look like that? I can't see that.
I don't remember it looking like that, and I don't remember merging. And I found the logo with the one R, but the person had it with the A like that, but it wasn't merged. But I do remember the star for the A.
Okay.
Just not the first A looking like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't merged. Like I said, there was no RA, the VE, that they weren't merged. They were just next to each other.
I think Splatter's agreeing with you.
Thanks to watch all the...
Dan's trolling now in the chat.
Oh, Dan's been trolling.
That's he. I just saw him now. Oh.
Not good.
Thanks, Dan. I shaved my beard off, though. I hate to tell you. I have to update my photo. Oh, I don't know why the 1925. Here's from 1925.
I was wondering, what happened in 1925?
Sorry, it was supposed to flip the other way, but...
Now, some people, I think it was Recall Vector, did a video a long time ago. He remembers Capitol Records with an A.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember that. I do remember the O. But I do not remember a triangle for the A.
No.
Especially not a broken one. 1925, wow.
$1983, Jet America.
Slanted, broken, and pyramids. That's just lovely. Emerging.
Yep. Oh, and there's another version of that lovely G down in Long Beach. Or up here in Long Beach.
The Best Buy in the sky.
Yeah.
Such an odd.
Another one, World Airways. W and A are completely merged.
That's residue right there. Look, you can barely see South America. It's underneath. Nice.
Africa's kind of weird, connected.
Yeah.
But it's a cartoon, I guess, so or just a drawing.
Yeah. Wow, World Airways is one word.
And
the W and the A are one letter. Mm-mm.
This is not right.
No. Do you remember World Airways, Crystal?
No, but I don't. But the letterings of it with the style, everything's not in the past, you know. Oh.
This is another personal one for me because we owned a Grand Prix, Pontiac Grand Prix. And they did not look like this in the 80s either. Or 90s.
No. Did you look to see if the Grand Am is like that as well?
Yeah, let's look. Oh, I got it somewhere. I think it's in here.
Okay.
The Grand Am has changed as well, but I think it's the half bar A, not the.
Oh yeah, that's changed.
The Pyramid A. It's changed. Supercharged Grand Prix. Yeah, it didn't look like that at all. Or the broken R. And the letters being connected. Fila is a huge one for me too. Just because apparently it's been like this since 1911. And just looking back, finding old papers from the 80s going, yeah, no, it didn't look like that at all. Thanks, Splatter. I thought, yeah, after I just realized that today too, that I thought it was a Canadian tire brand, Sparkomatic. So a lot of you wouldn't know it.
Carla just sent me an image. I'm going to send it to you to show. The Muscular Dystrophy Association.
Mm-hmm.
Their logo is pretty messed up. I don't know how long it's been like this though, but I'm going to send it to you.
Was it chopped off, or did that get?
Oh, that's how it comes. Hold on for a minute. Let me get you another one. There we go. I got it. 1 second. Coming to you right. The images in Messenger take forever to load for me. I think it's because I have so many pictures inside my camera roll. Just circles and circles and circles. Oh, any day now.
It looks like it's pretty messed up even from this one.
Yeah.
Not coming through.
It's still spinning on my end. That's the problem.
Oh,
Here we go. There you go.
There we go.
This says regular A.
Yeah, that should change next, right? So keep your eye out for that.
But that M and D is weird. That D is weird.
Yeah, very weird. Wild. Another product from '86, and I think this has merged more since I got this one. Dan should remember this. He probably used it in his shop.
Yeah, I've never seen that one before. But that's, again, it's
probably a Canadian tire brand as well, or DuPont, so probably not. But
well, no, DuPont. We have DuPont here. It's just that
yeah,
I wasn't waxing my car usually. I would just go to the car wash.
and lots of changes here, of course. People remember Caldwell, but the A.
Yeah, I remember Caldwell.
The K.
I don't remember the A like that when we covered it, and I don't remember the E's like that.
Nope.
And the W shaved off on one side. That's so weird.
Well, and the L's even the bottoms, and the letters are all kind of curved. Yeah, that's weird.
It's awkward. That logo, the letters are awkward. 'Why? 'Cause, 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 'c And why would they use a lowercase e with all capital letters?
Well, and that's the other thing that's happening, right? That's another thing we can cover sometime because that's happening everywhere as well, where capital letters and lowercase letters are being mixed together. Well, I'm 7-Eleven is a good example, but that's just the one letter. But you can look back again in the 70s and 80s and see it everywhere. And it's so bizarre. And we didn't do that. You didn't combine lowercase and uppercase.
No, only children did who were learning how to write.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Like, that would be indicative of seeing a kid write their name on their paper in kindergarten. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it wouldn't be in professional logos.
No. Epsom salt from the 1970s.
Now, I don't remember, but some people remember Epsom.
Epsom, yeah. I don't know if that's getting it mixed up with...
I remember Epsom.
Epsom salt.
See, the only Epson I know is the printer.
The printer company, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm wondering if if you can mix the two up. Maybe not. Might be. I won't say it is or isn't.
And another possibility is that you come to a reality where people can come to a reality where the other ones change too. They're both changed.
Could very well be.
Curious, I can barely hear you. Can you?
Oh no.
There, that's better.
Oh, you can't. Okay. All right. Sorry. Yeah.
I don't know why Teresa keeps getting bumped out too. Sorry, Teresa.
The two realities can actually change. So that makes me think. Yeah. Teresa's in the chat.
Yeah, she is. This just showed. I don't even know why this one's the AMC, I think. Yeah. I don't remember AMC. I think that's been covered several times before too, but I don't remember it looking like that. And again, you see all the changes everywhere.
I remember sort of the same shape A, like it was like bubbled out like that, but it was a regular A.
Mm-hmm.
I probably have to. I could try to draw it. Not now.
I know what you mean. Yeah, like if the bar went across the middle, like halfway up.
Yeah, but also if
but it was curved.
Like, it was right, but it was. I had to draw it. It wasn't just like that. It was a little bit more different. Like there was like a top to the A, and it rounded out on both sides, and then an A across.
Okay. I think I was searching for Scary Movie residue for the line. That's the reason those are highlighted. Oh yeah, I see white people. That's what I was looking at for. AMC again, back to 1989, just to show the years. So the other one was 2000. This is 1989, still like this, and no, it wasn't. And then there's this version, which there isn't too many, I find, of where the break is on the top. Here's an example. Again, this is local in Alberta, so it's not a nationwide, but it's so messed up, this logo.
Everything's messed up.
And from 1987, no, it's just...
On the slant E already in 1987?
Yeah. No. And then, of course, Conoco, so a video game, I think, company from Japan. Didn't look like that in 1995.
Is that a C or a K?
That is a K.
At the end? Mm-hmm. Wow.
I'll show you here. Well, that's just the logo clear. It's a K. So it's Kaneko.
That's not clear. See, I would think that's a C.
Oh, I know. Like, Star Trek, I know that's been covered several times as well, and the A, I think, appeared in Generation later. I think Nobleness mentioned that too on Dan's show, but yeah, it's off for me. And this one's all messed up.
The Pachinko factory?
Like, everything's connected. The top H to the bottom H, just a mess. Like, I know, I guess you could argue, are they trying to make it look like a pachinko game with the balls falling down, maybe, but it just seems really odd.
Wow. Sorry if you guys heard the
Could barely hear it
outside.
And then there's Solidays. Oh, yeah.
Oh, going back to the Pachinko. Did you see Plinko from The Price is Right?
Yes. That's changed too, hasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, the eye is upside down now, and sometimes the dot of the eye floats to other letters now. It's really weird.
Yeah, I've seen that on other logos sometimes. It's another change. So yeah, not too many of that type. Full pyramids. There's a few, like Celine. We have a fitness company called Anytime Fitness that I guess you could say it's broken, but Frigidaire.
I've never heard of Celine before.
No? Oh, it's a car.
It's a Canadian car.
No. Celine is American.
It is?
They specialize, basically modify cars.
Oh, okay. So it's not like a brand that they modify them.
Right. They do have a kind of a hypercar now, also. I haven't heard much about it lately, though. So
I've honestly never heard of them. That's weird, though.
This one's weird, too. And this is actually from an airport. That's a picture I took. Airport in Winnipeg. Just so unreadable.
Oh, and there's another one, just like The Last Starfighter with the cut-off S.
And actually, there's another one of that coming up, too.
That actually looks dead on like the exact same font as The Last Starfighter.
And I've got another one, too, like that. That's bizarre. So again, just broken letters.
That's so weird.
A's mixing lowercase with larger case. The G, the W. It's another trend where they break off, or the W extends on the one leg, but not the other. Or it doesn't stop and just meet in the middle, lower. Here, this is the one that, like you said, just like that scoreboard, looks just like your Starfighter. Doesn't it? Same font.
It's so weird. I'm sure they probably did use a font. Like they probably someone
that
probably designed it and they paid for it.
That font must have existed back then because you see it here. Like you said, the scoreboard. Actually, I have a book cover too that uses this font. I should get that in here too. Forgot about it until now.
So weird.
See the number there? Here's what I'm pointing out again. See the 44? Like it just seems to show up in a lot of things. It's weird.
It does.
And then this is a weird one that I've only seen so far one place for me, and that is the license plate here in Alberta. These aren't real numbers, but it's weird because I was actually able to find a company that makes replica plates, apparently. And apparently they got it wrong. But that's what
I remember. Much better.
But that's what I remember it being. I'm not sure about that slanted A, but I think it was slightly slanted. That might have been, but the way it looks now is utterly ridiculous. And it's on our road signs. It's on like highway signs. It's just bizarre. And the half bar T, the A, and the E slanted, just everything is wrong. And now when you go back in time, and I've lived here my whole life, so this one's pretty personal for me. I mean, you look at Alberta, that was Alberta from 1975. That's how they wrote it, apparently. It's just so wrong.
Oh my gosh.
And you go back to the older one, 72 to 74, they were blue. I remember that. But you look at Alberta in that one, they didn't have the half bar A and connected to the L and the E slanted and connected to the R. Like, that's all messed up too. It's just completely messed up. And we found some actual plates. I went through with a buddy of mine that had, and found some old plates that he had kept. And sure enough, they're changed.
Oh wow. Yeah, there's actually, there's another folder of U.S. plates, and there's so much residue of red bar flags and stars on shields and letters merging, and it's crazy. It's crazy if you go look at license plates across the United States.
And I don't think the dashes, which is another common change, turning into dots or kind of squares, either one, those were dashes before. Like above.
That's what I say, the current one has dashes, or they dots too?
The one in, you know what, I need to go look at my plate. Maybe it's changed too, but yeah, it looks like the current one still has the dash, but the old ones did too. But I found a lot of older dashes are turning either, well, just like Coca-Cola, right? Changing from a full dash to either a dot or a square dot or square dash. And then the half broken A's. I'd say this is, other than the upside down V, this is probably the most common change as well. Big one for me is Pontiac. Do you notice anything else about the logo?
Besides the broken letters? And the curvy N?
The C, you can really notice it. The P, you can really notice it. The O, to me, you can really notice it.
You mean the stretching?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's that's another trend.
I never had a Pontiac, but I do remember it not looking like that.
Yeah.
It definitely wasn't broken. I don't think it was stretched.
My first car was a Pontiac Trans Am in '82, and it wasn't stretched. Yeah, a lot of stretching going on too, horizontally. The O's, I notice it so much. Just weird. But yeah, I know it looked more like what I found below.
Yeah, I could definitely say that looks more familiar to me than the top one.
And now history says, I think that only was the case from 2002 to 2004.
What?
And yet, that car that's pictured there is a 79, I think. 79 Firebird. It's so weird. And yet, and before that, it's like so many things. What it used to look like way back, they went back to it. Because before 2002...
Yeah, we talked about that too, how a lot of companies are changing their logos. They're unmerging. It's like they looked at their logo one day and said, that's weird. I don't like that. And then they switched it back after their logos had merged.
Right.
Or letters had broken. It's so bizarre.
But to me, the original one on this and then the 2004 to 10, they're both wrong. And I don't think it's the company switched back. I think they were just both changed. I see this a lot too. Like even in ones that the company, I don't think the company's decided to change it back yet. But it actually just seems to, they start out one way and then they go away from it. And then all of a sudden and then they come back and use that. And I mean, I guess you could argue that could happen, but it just, with the changes, you notice that pattern a lot. There's the Grand Am and Grand Prix and Trans Am. So again, all the broken A's that came in. And I know the older ones didn't have that 100%. Or the GTA with the GT connected and the A.5 bar A.
I don't know what C-Max is, but that looks weird with the dash attached to the
Yeah,
M.
I know. That's a Pontiac vehicle, I think, too. It might be regionalized or country. I just came across it and captured it because it looked so odd. Bayer from the 1990s.
Oh, that Y and E wasn't merged before.
No. And the R, the broken R.
Oh no. Even the little letters.
And I think the lowercase A's are broken. It's hard to tell,
No, I think they are too. They look
but I
like
think
it.
they are. Starter, another sports brand or sports clothing brand. 1971.
Is that cut off or is the star cut off like that in the logo?
I have to look.
If it's cut off like that in the logo, I don't remember that.
In 2 seconds. It's cut off.
No.
Mm-hmm. That is exactly the way it is.
That's weird.
Okay.
Why would they do that? I mean, it even looks like the star on the right-hand side is thicker and longer. Like it's not proportional.
Right.
That's weird.
No, they're all cut off.
Why would they do that?
I don't know if that S is right either.
No, I don't remember it being curved and sharp, then curved again.
Cintas. I don't know if you guys have Cintas in the U.S. or if it's a Canadian company. I think
Yes,
I've
we
heard
do.
somebody from the U.S. mentioning it, though. It's so messed up, too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Guys, I'm going to have to be going, but I will catch the show on
Okay.
YouTube.
Sounds
And
good. I think we're almost done here, but yeah.
Yeah, and we're just want to mention that we're having a show Wednesday, right?
Yes. Wednesday,
What time?
7:30 MT. Yeah.
Wednesday at 7:30 Mountain Time?
Yeah.
On Curious and Curiouser?
Yeah.
Yes, Curious and Curious, or 9:30 p.m. Eastern. So hopefully you guys will come by and check that out too.
Be there or be square. Everybody in the chat.
We'll be there. Yeah, we'll be looking forward to you. All right.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Thank you. Oh, sorry. Go on.
Yeah, I said you're welcome. I'm glad my phone works. It's been a whole different thing for me using my phone.
Oh, that's good.
It's a different experience, yeah, on the phone than it is on the computer.
It is. Okay. So,
have a good night.
You have a good night.
Thank you for being here.
Everyone. You're
yes.
welcome. All right. Talk to you later.
All right. Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Yeah, I think we're pretty close here to the end too of what I have. Again, just more broken A's and other changes. Maxima is another one. Nissan, there's a lot that have changed. Acura, Chevy Silverados, Chevy Traverse. I got a kick out of this one. Corona. This is a tool company. You still there, Sandy?
I'm here.
Just awfully quiet. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm just looking. Corona of all things.
Yeah. Nissan Altima, same thing. Sierra, Denali's. Just crazy. So name badges are, yeah, you could go on and on about them alone.
Yeah, I covered a lot of these, but it's really neat seeing a lot of them already changed again since when I covered them.
Mm-hmm. Chevy Malibu, Ford Taurus.
There, like the Taurus is now angled, the A.
Yeah, the
Only
A.
the A, nothing else, just
Doesn't
the
make
A.
sense, does it?
No.
And the T, look at the edge of the T so it lines. That's probably why the A is curved, so it would match with, or vice versa. And again, broken A and call. I showed this earlier with the lowercase a, and yeah, this is a bizarre one.
Cedar Point, my sister was just there.
Really?
And she brought back, it was last summer, she was just there. And she brought back a ton of stuff from Cedar Point, and I don't remember the logo looking like that.
Oh,
I don't
apparently
remember the A
1980.
like that.
Yeah, that's just bizarre. This one's all messed up too. There's so much merging and.
Wow.
1979. There's just no way. Oh, you notice the number, phone number.
Mm-hmm.
444. It just seems to show up everywhere. This one's hard to see, and I couldn't not find a better image of from 1989. Some of the cream of wheat have the broken A, the E, the R, and yet other letters connected.
Teresa wants me to send you a logo. Hold on for a minute.
Mm-hmm. For sure. The new one's like just is messed up just as bad as the old ones.
See, but this one could possibly be like this because of
the way things are now. Yeah.
Because of the way things are now. Because this logo has been like this since 2016.
Right.
However, if you just bought this last week, or even if you haven't bought it in the past year and it's changed for you, then it could be. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But
I would say 2016, I'd almost say that it's probably changed still. But, again, if you're seeing changes from 18 or 19 that were done, or 20, it's a good chance that, it's the company just doing it the way it is done now. I just got that, so just give me a sec here. Oh, the Activia?
Activia, yeah.
Okay, because I had that, didn't I? Is it different than what I...
Unless that's what you're commenting on. Oh, she may have been commenting on it and I missed it.
I'm just wondering if it is. No, same one. Same one. Okay. No, I just thought maybe it's different.
So that one's been like that since 2016.
Right.
And let me ask you, in Canada, is it spelled, go back for 1 second to the Activia? Above it. Is that how it's spelled in Canada?
Oh, then I don't know if it's Danone or...
It's Dannon here.
Or Dannon? I have always pronounced it, but I think I made it up myself. I would just assumed it was Danone.
Are Dannon and Danone different?
There's two spellings, isn't there? And you can find both, I think. And I don't know if that's a regional thing. I did see that, and I noticed, and I think I saw someone speaking about it.
No,
honestly,
it's that red
I
line.
don't know.
That's Dannon. It is Dannon, so it's got to be. Here, let me show you. I'll show you that logo.
Because one of them doesn't have two N's and no E, or.
That's the thing. I've never seen it Danone before. That's the weird part. Like, here's my website. I'm sending you the website just because it's easier than trying to save the image right now, or maybe not because my images aren't loading. Because.
Yeah, I don't know. Send that to me still, and I'll bring it up.
Yeah, anybody in the chat if anyone's here from other countries, do you know Danone as opposed to Dannon? Because in America, I've only ever seen Dannon.
Yeah, see, but both exist, and I think they both exist currently. So it must be, because here's...
There it is. You have it right
right?
there because
Yeah,
it's not loading still.
no. Yeah, here it is with the two ends, right? I
That's
think
the only way
here
I've
it
ever
has...
seen it.
Yeah, you find it both ways. Though you know what? Keep an eye on these ends, because I think they will change. They're already bending.
Yeah, I don't remember this bend.
They're gonna end up connecting part way up the back leg.
But that's weird for me. I've never known it has been known. Or
I wonder, it might be a
band
country.
one.
Maybe it's a country thing. I don't know why. I can't think of a. It's not like it means something.
Yeah, it's weird.
That's a strange one. Another ad from the 80s, 84. Again, that N, that creeping N, that's what's going to happen to Danone.
It's so weird. Flotations. Is that what they call water beds?
No, we call them water. I don't know. We call them water beds, but I thought that was odd too. Flotation.
So strange.
It is strange. That was U.S. channel, so.
Wait, I have to ask you a question before you change that picture. Why does it say World War III at the top?
I think that maybe that must have been, because usually they had commercial breaks during, it must have been a movie, World War III, Part 1, or a show, like a documentary. Sometimes when it was just the YouTube channel name. And I think these were commercial breaks from January 28th when that show was showing.
Okay, I get
is what
it now.
I'm thinking it is. Another one, just weird, from 85, broken A, R, Z's. Another one, broken A, slightly weird
What is
H.
the company's even? That's an H? Lace?
I can't tell, right? And that's what I mean.
Or is it an M?
1932. Oh, Lems, maybe. I would think lens. Like you don't know. That's what I mean, though. In 1932.
So weird. Oh my
1981
goodness.
by Air Canada. And again, all the broken letters connected. Just bizarre.
See, it bothers me more when it's not in a logo. When it's just words.
Right.
It's like,
it's in a
the
title.
logo, you can argue it's stylized to match a product, or but when it's just in regular letters, especially like in a commercial from the 70s, it blows my mind.
Yeah, me too. And this one I don't remember from the 80s either. Warner.
No.
Being merged. And again, the R, the A. That one I'm confident about.
Same. 100%.
And then your slanted A's. These are weird too. Commercials from the early 80s for Olympic paint. And they all have those A's. And not just the A's, the M, the... Said they just try and line everything up, like everything...
I know, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's just...
I don't remember like that at all.
No.
And the M definitely looks like it's stretched.
Mm-hmm. And the L and the Y, how they're almost connected. Like you said, that almost merge into like a different type of letter altogether or symbol. Like it's just weird. I think the first time I noticed the slanted A's was in the Terminator poster. for Judgment Day when everybody was talking about judgment and the spelling of judgment. And I thought, yeah, I don't remember the A's slanting like that. It's the only thing that's slanted in his name and in more so in Terminators where I really noticed it.
Yeah.
Just doesn't fit with anything else.
There's no rhyme or reason for it.
Exactly. Like it has nothing to do. It's like it doesn't tell you anything about the movie or right. Just no rhyme or reason.
And his name, the A goes in the opposite direction.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's impersonal too. I never even noticed that before. I don't even remember It's Nothing Personal.
That's another thing.
Where did that come from? That tagline was not there. Like, what does that have to do with anything?
Every single movie poster I am coming across from the 80s and the 90s and even the 2000s now has taglines that I do not remember.
That was not there.
On movie posters, VHS tapes, DVDs.
Yeah, that's a new change since I actually copied this. It definitely wasn't there. It just threw me because it's like all of a sudden it popped out and I'm like, and it doesn't make any sense. It's nothing personal. It is personal. He was sent there to kill him.
Yeah.
Because of him.
Very personal.
Again, and to me, it's just like a message to us. Like, oh, that's bizarre. Yeah, that definitely wasn't there. Yeah, there was no tagline. I agree, Shardakan. I know it wasn't on here when I first copied this. But like you said, that's showing up everywhere. And I noticed the A in day as well now. And that's a lowercase y.
Wait, where?
At the end of day.
Oh, at the end of day. Oh.
Yeah. On Judgment Day. The A slanted there. It. No, I think
you're right. It is a lowercase.
It's a lowercase. Like it should be in the middle, right? If it was a capital Y. Mm-hmm. That's bizarre. So that weird. Tagline just got me.
I'm getting used to them now. They're just popping up everywhere.
Oh, I know. This thing's all messed up too. So this was just like advertisement on TV for the Monday night movie or Tuesday night movie in this case. And it's so messed up. Look at the beyond the A's, which are those slanted A's, which ended up being connected. Look at the H and the T in night. And that's another common thing that I'm starting to see more of from the 70s and 80s.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That kind of reminds me of the logo you saw where the arm reached over through the other letters.
Which one?
The good housing? No.
Okay. Home Goods.
Home Goods, yeah. You know how the bars reach through?
Yeah.
Because that's how the T has gone through the H, basically.
Well, the T and the H are completely one letter now.
Yeah, it's crazy. And the slanted M, and like I said, it's just...
The D and the A is merged. Everything's merged.
Mm-hmm. And the C looks huge compared to maybe the...
It really does.
Or the B looks small, maybe, or the E. I don't know. Just odd. It's not consistent, which was unusual at the time, too. And you can see the slanted end on the E again. I think the first time I noticed that was in the the entry to movies. I can't think of it now. I'll think of it after. This was just a movie, which I didn't know, but just the slanted A again. Nothing else, just the A. 1975. And this is bizarre. So why use one A that's normal, connected to the R, of course, and then the other one's slanted and merged right into the C? Like, it just doesn't make any sense.
It makes no sense at all.
None. They didn't mix fonts or mix.
So weird. But we're seeing stuff like this everywhere.
Remax was a big one for me. I saw that change within a week because I hung out with some realtors who worked for Remax, and I was going in there at the time just about every other morning for coffee and that type of thing. And all of a sudden it changed and just completely got messed. You can't even read that as Remax. It looks like RF.
I have a somewhere. I have a graphic of that where I fixed it.
Did you? Oh, I want to see that. You need to share it with me at some point, and we'll maybe share it. This is one of those ones that you were just talking about earlier, where they've actually now fixed it. And here's their new logo.
Sort of with the M.
But this is their new logo. Yeah, but they did well because I think they were trying to keep it the same, but realizing people were saying, well, I can't even read it. Like the E's hidden. So they put in more white space and tried to keep the same kind of angle look. And they just made this change. And they're now changing all their logos. But yeah, that one was really messed up.
I'm trying to see if...
Yeah, I want to see them.
I got to search for it. It's probably in a different folder.
Somebody was asking, I think this is... No, it looks like Bruce Jenner. Maybe it is. Sure looks like him.
Yeah, it does.
Everybody's like, who's Bruce Jenner? I only know... Look at this. Doesn't that look almost the same?
Yeah, it does.
1986. Almost looks identical. And there's that W, that pattern that's showing lately. This is a fairly new pattern that's showing up where the W's are crossing, like two V's.
I'm looking through all my logos folders to try to find the Remax. I didn't do it that long ago. Maybe in the... Because it was an actual graphic.
But it's one you made.
Yeah.
Nice. So Quaker Square, not something that's probably regional, but that slanted A and merged with the U's is just so bizarre. 1979 again. I said you should just find these everywhere now. Anybody remember the show Manimal?
Teresa found this one for our show.
Right.
Yeah.
I remember when she showed it too. No, it wasn't like this. I didn't, I remember it, but yeah, no, it wasn't all merged and slanted A's again.
I agree.
There's your slanted one. Look at again a different A.
Yeah,
than
why?
any other A used in there. Why? Why would they suddenly change the font? And in 1983, I don't think it was as simple. Interesting, Betty Wolf, that she remembers the slanted A's.
That is interesting. I really do not remember the slanted A's.
Yeah, I don't either. And again,
I'm looking at all my folders. I'm sorry.
And I can't say 100% that maybe they didn't use them at times. but like the Remax one, it's just, I mean, I know that one changed because I saw it change in a short time. And some of the other ones, I just know it wasn't there but some may have been there for sure. But to me, I just have a hard time believing this one, for example, why they would change the font suddenly, unless they want to highlight sale, but it just seems like an odd way to highlight a word.
It does.
It doesn't
Usually
highlight.
they would highlight with a color change or a bold font.
So it's odd for me. And then when things like this happen, right? Like, and again, this is from the early 80s. It just, so that they would end up connecting and again, reaching into the C and merging and that T and H again. I don't remember ever seeing that T and H.
I don't either. That's super new. I've really only seen it like once or twice before. That's really new for me.
I'll have to take a look at that, Betty. She's saying that the E in Remax was the chimney and the letters were the roof.
I'll have to look into that too. It's kind of
I can only
striking
get
a bell, but I need to see it. Do you know what I'm saying? But I think I do remember something like that.
And that could be, but I don't think it was as merged. The E in Remax was
the chimney.
The chimney.
And the letters for the roof. Like I said, I'm a visual person. I need to see it.
I am too. It doesn't, I mean, the way it is now, maybe it did before the change. I'm not sure if that's what she was saying, is that that's what it was before. Because to me, it doesn't look like that. If I bring that over. To me, it's just a mess.
Yeah, it is.
But maybe originally it did. Interesting.
I know where I can look for the Remax, but I can't look for it while we're live because it'll kick me out of the stream.
For sure. And just another example from 1978.
Nando's has like half ends. That's lovely.
Oh, completely merged. And then just the lowercase a's, which again, there's not much, but there's some weird ones. Like this is from 1979. The half bar T's, the A's don't look like A's at all to me. Like I don't even know how they'd come up with that.
They're literally backward C's.
What do you mean backwards?
Like they're a C backwards, the A's.
Oh, I thought you said T. I thought you were talking about the T. I didn't hear C. Yeah, they're backwards C's. And they've got that weird, you know how one's squared off and the other one's got that curve to it.
Yeah.
And
so bizarre.
Yeah.
I don't remember this stuff growing up.
No. 1981 too. There's your broken A's. And those crazy G's, like I said, those are the ones that really get me. And I think a lot of people are follow maybe Blaze, or need input. And he does a lot of changes in Japan. And I noticed these as well because I lived there for 4.5 years. And it's happening there too in other countries where English is used, especially in marketing and certain areas. Lots of changes there too. So you've probably seen this too if you follow him. You can't even read this. This is a gym or like a sports center, field house, I think they call them now. Can barely make out that says Central.
And it's got that weird block E,
Mm-hmm.
like on the cover of a Clockwork Orange.
Mm-hmm.
That's another pattern.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Komatsu, that's been brought up before too. Just weird. And more. Just, again, merging and connecting and weird breaks.
I don't even know what Masuda is, but that's...
Whoops.
That's
yeah.
good.
Even Lenovo with the E, the slanted E. Magazines there. Like here is another source where you see a lot of changes.
I'm just curious for those in the chat. If any of you have a theory as to why our letters are changing, I'd be curious to hear what you have to say.
Mm-hmm. Big one for me was JR because it's a lot of the train lines there, and I mean I rode on them all the time, and the J and R is merged now. Yeah, just weird.
They are weird.
And another big one for me is JAL. I flew on JAL when I went over and came back all the time. And even my own photos, of course, have changed. And it had an A. That was in the early 90s. 94 to 98. For sure it had an A.
I've never heard of them before, but
Japanese
I've heard
airline?
of JL.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or JL. Yeah.
But I believe you.
Yeah, again, these aren't ones that everybody's going to see all the time. So, oh, and I put this in, Sandy, for you because I thought you said you had read somewhere that every time he went out in public,
I did.
he had to wear a tie.
Yeah, that's the man's excuse.
And I had
that's
this
great
from
residue.
it was from the 80s, a Thanksgiving parade. Didn't have one here.
That's awesome.
So I'm either
that's
waiting
exactly
for it.
what I remember.
So we'll wait
No
and see if
tie.
it shows up on here or later or not.
Hold on to that because every image I found, he has a stupid tie on.
So bizarre.
Stupid tie that I don't remember. I am still scrolling. I'm sorry. I have so many
that's okay.
here.
This is the end of what I had. And again, it's more of a collection. I know a lot of it's old. I know most of you have probably seen all of them, if not most of them, before. But just kind of collecting them under the changes to some of the letter changes that are going on. And different facts relating to that. Just bizarre how far back they go now.
I'm going to make a new folder for today because I was supposed to cover this and I never did. And most people don't know this one, so I'm just going to make a folder and throw it up. But if you want to go to the letters folder while I do this,
I can sure do that.
and a lot of these are just stuff that we've covered on Brian's show, Curious&Curiouser show.
Right. Oh, some of these are popping up pretty tiny.
Oh no.
Is there an easy way to enlarge it?
Just skip it if you can't.
Oh, okay.
That's an old 70s album. It's all right. There's plenty. You can just skip it. So here, the A is that weird,
broken.
almost an O. And also, I don't remember the H being like that, but this is more about how it goes from super light to super thick. I don't remember that.
Right.
I just remember the word Hanson, and the A is weird with the broken A.
Huh. Ooh. I don't even know this. Sanrio?
Sanrio, yeah.
Or Sanrio.
There should be they're small because they're old quality.
Right.
I probably got them from my phone. But the S and the A are one letter. The A is slanted.
What are they? What company? Or what kind of company?
Hello Kitty.
Oh, is that Hello Kitty?
Kitty?
I am. Yeah. That's so funny because I know Hello Kitty well, of course. But I didn't realize that was the...
Yeah.
Shows you how much I paid attention to Hello Kitty. Sorry, Fizzy. Sorry, Sandy.
Word for the day production says, I believe wholly in the handmade. However, I believe it's from the devil, not for trivial reasons, but for something way more sinister. And Shadakana says, myself, I do feel back to hieroglyphical. So the changing of letters is going backwards towards hieroglyphics.
Mm-hmm.
I was just asking people what they thought the merging and the changing of the letters are, for those just tuning in. This is what I was talking about, where just regular words are merged for no reason. This isn't a logo. It may be a tagline or a slogan they had, "Hey Charger," but this was on the television in the 80s. Look at the merging here. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, especially like an H and an E like that, and it's just not even thinkable. Like none of it is, but that's even a step further, I think, to me. And honestly, the Dodge did not have the broken D and G either.
No, and I did find residue of that. The dealership near my mom's house does not have the broken letters. And it's an old sign, but everywhere else I see it, it's broken.
Yeah, oh, for sure. Oh, there's
a better one. It's a little bit bigger.
The crazy A, the merging and the
video.
Slanted A, and yeah, no, I just don't. Oh, and the filling in.
The filling in of
that's
the
the first one I've
O's.
seen filled in with brown. Usually I've seen black or dark gray.
Oh, they're all different colors with Walmart. There's a couple of Walmart
bizarre.
In there.
How far back does it go? Because I know I was questioning at first whether or not that's just something they started doing, but it seemed to just appear out of nowhere too.
Well, it's not just Walmart. I thought that at first too, but it's also happening with Target. It's happening with Taco Bell. It's happening to multiple companies, so I'm not so sure.
I didn't pick up on that yet. Huh. Interesting. Oh, yeah, there's blue. It's wild. Oh, look at that.
This is from the 70s. That's an O, though. A triangle for an O.
That's bizarre. Like, why? Oh, it's the gray I usually see, but I didn't notice.
So bizarre. It's all bizarre to me.
Oh, and that subway is just all wrong.
Yeah, but the subway, is the S a regular S, or is there a
No, there's an arrow. There's an arrow there too.
Okay,
but I do remember when it changed. I remember, and this is so funny because it was before I was realized that it was not marketing changes, but it was so weird because it went from subway to the Y just having the arrow. And then all of a sudden, a little while later, the S all of a sudden had an arrow. And I remember thinking it's so odd that, like, why did they make these double changes so close together? And why in the first place? Like, what does that add?
Nothing.
I
In my
didn't,
opinion, nothing.
But like I said, I didn't realize at that point that it wasn't a marketing change.
Yes.
Because
the first ones that we tend to come
mm-hmm.
across,
Because I
didn't
think
realize
that
it.
it was around 2007, 2008 when I saw the first arrow. For me, so weird.
Oh, yes.
Oh, look at this. Tasty
That's
cake
really
with a
kind.
K.
You're gonna have to. Well, for me, it did have a K. The company always had a K, but
Whoops.
the KA is merged. And this is hard to see too. Well, guys, I'm so sorry they're so small. The RA and cracked is merged.
Oops, just trying to enlarge it. Yeah, no, that's bizarre. And that E, those curved D's, those are actually some of the most. Those are some of the most recent letter changes that started. That maybe a year ago, year and a half. That's bizarre. Yeah, this one I remember seeing too. That's the R and the A merging.
Mm-hmm.
So what's your thought on that? I know Teresa shared the other night with us, and we can share that again, but what do you think because RAs have connected everywhere. And again, we could do a whole show on RAs connecting because they're past and present. Again, I think I'd say 80% or more. I feel really comfortable at 80% of any time there's a capital R and A next to each other, they're joined now.
Yes.
And no matter how far you go back. Yeah, RA, LA, and CA are three of the main ones, but RA especially, just everywhere. What do you think it means? What does the chat think? What do they think it means?
I don't know. Carla Redpill says sigils, hypnotic, or hypnotic. I don't know.
I don't know what
that real one's saying, but I don't know. All I know is that there's a pattern to it. It's the same things are merging, the same things are slanting, the same things are getting little wispy things added on, little sharp pointy things. There's a pattern to it all, and it seems like it's on purpose.
Symbols.
There's an intelligence behind it, like you said.
Yeah, Carla said symbols for like spell casting. Could very well be. I know a couple things that really stood out for me, and Teresa had mentioned that she thought the same thing. That Ra, if you look up Ra, it's of course the sun god in Egypt, but it's also the god of the underground.
Yeah.
Which to me I would relate to the devil. Which really stood out. And I know Brian used to mention that. Brian MacFarlane used to talk about that all the time when he was doing shows. And another big thing, and I mentioned this last time too, is that logos, Logos, all the logo changes and everything. Well, logos is the word of God.
Yes.
And there are so many logos changing, and the word of God is, the Bible is changing. The written word.
Everything's changing. Everything.
And, it just, are those parallels? Those are thoughts that stood out for me. And I've heard others say as well.
I'm sending you something really quick.
Sure. Well, this is bizarre. I'll take.
Oh, wait, Betty Wolf sent. Oh, Betty Wolf sent an example of Remax.
Oh, perfect.
The way she was trying to describe it to us.
Yeah. Oh, shoot.
All right, so Altec, again, my stepdad owned a company. I've seen this logo many times. And the A and the L is merged. I'm waiting for the images to load, so I figure I'll talk about what's on the screen while I'm waiting for them to load in here.
Right.
I don't know how many people would be familiar with this logo, but they weren't. They were just a normal A and a normal L, and now they're not.
Yeah, no, for sure. Huh. OMC. Connected.
Now that's the bowling AMC, not the movie theater AMC. But
Right.
I do remember them looking the same. I remember them just having an A, M, and a C. There was no weird shape look like a 4-letter A. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That everything's merged here. Practically every letter is touching except for the N and the C.
Oh, Joe Ars said an interesting thing in the chat too. Sorry, I'm listening to you too. RA's everywhere. There's Rothschild, Rockefeller, Soros. So if their names change.
It is still spinning. I'm sorry. You can go to the next image.
Yeah, no, okay. I was kind of watching that too. Oh, this is
I'm
back
gonna
to
quit
Tasty Freeze,
Yeah, they're all over
which
the
we
place.
covered.
But there's residue with the E at the end.
I know I do. I have residue too. About I think 4 or 5 things, and this might be one of them. That looks familiar. The menu
And guys,
with it.
before a lot of you joined, we were talking about this. They finally came up. I covered this a long time ago. I remember Tasty Freeze spelled like this, but now it's just FREEZ. There is no E at the end. All right, so
yeah, I've got this here now. I'm really curious to hear from Betty is this something she read somewhere, or she saw it explained somewhere, or did she just picture this way? Because to me, for sure, the logo changed because I saw it change within a week, and it wasn't all merged together. It had similar pattern to it, but not like the X wasn't all the way over into the A, and the E wasn't hidden. You could read the E before, for me anyway. It's interesting. So you have your house and your chimney.
and that makes sense.
It does.
Mean,
I would have never saw that though. That's why I'm curious how, did she just see that in there in the picture, or did she hear it explained somewhere? Because I would have never.
I thought she said earlier in the chat that that's how the logo was for her.
Yeah, that's what she said. Like she said, it looked like a house with a chimney. But I would have never came up with that. I couldn't have looked at that and got this from it.
No.
I'm just saying for me, and I'm very visual, so I'm not saying it isn't, but I'm just saying I would have never put that together. I did say the lines. I remember us talking about how the lines form a pyramid. So, if you connected them, so you get the roof of the house. But I never would have ever put together that, oh, that's the house top, and then the E is the chimney. So interesting. And she says, I think she read about it, an article on logos. So
she said it's like the arrow in FedEx. I think I read it in an article about logos.
Interesting. And what was the other?
Oh, so this
national.
is another filling in. They're filling in letters. It has right. I don't remember those filled in.
Oh, why do I? I kind of do.
It's okay, but I don't.
I don't know if I have a dual memory.
Even the movies, like Christmas Vacation and everything.
That's where I would have seen most of them.
All right, let's get through this letters folder so I can show them a couple of Mandela effects for hanging in here.
Okay, Tasty Freeze. So that's
how it is now.
It is now. Yeah. Oops, sorry.
Okay.
Royal Farms.
Those are the little
the nubs. Yeah, the little.
NER.
Royal Bank of Canada, it's RBC. If you look up that logo as well, same thing. It has those, and it didn't have them before 3 years ago or 4 years ago. But it got the same thing. And then we looked at this earlier, right? The Miami vest. DreamWorks.
And of course,
look at
it's tiny.
it is. Maybe I can bring it up really quick.
But it's the E and the A you really need to be looking at.
I noticed that right away. That was the first thing I was going to comment on.
It is merged though, the R, the E, the A, the M, but the E and the A.
But the E and A are just, for sure.
Are you pulling it up on a website?
I'm trying here really quick, just on Google. See if I can find.
Yeah, images saved on an iPhone don't usually translate very well to a.
There.
There we go. Well, actually, that's better than the older one.
Yeah, no, the E and A really stand out as too close together.
Way too close.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And the Yankees. Oh, the upside down triangles.
It's so small. Oh my gosh. You know what it is? It was probably my iPhone 6 that I saved these on. The iPhone 8 has a better resolution. But the Yankees has little triangles inside the A and the E's.
Similar to Zales or Braveheart also has it, the movie.
Yep.
Oh, Miramax. Here. This one's larger.
Yeah.
Definitely merged.
Don't remember that being like that.
No, not at all. Viacom. I had this. I had Viacom on. Pan Am's another one too. Yeah. And
with
again,
the little.
The merging and the. Ooh, that one's.
All connected.
Definitely.
But at least it's still normal A.
Yeah. Crazy.
All right, so this is on a Mortal Kombat arcade game machine, and it's got the little
nubs
top
too.
Of the A. Yeah, and there should be another
the M and the B, and that's how
they're
connected. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's all connected. There should be another picture. There it is.
The K
and the L.
Okay. So weird. Oh, this one's definitely.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like a G and an I anymore. It looks like something else.
It's so weird. I mean,
it is.
And I know Max Factor was never like this.
Yeah, no, I don't ever remember seeing that either. Not that I put a lot of makeup on, but.
Oh, it's hard to see. RA. It's the RA.
Double Dragon, the RA connected. That N too is moving up. Oh my goodness. So I'm assuming that says shoemaker.
Yep. And
getting hard to read though.
The A's filled in. Why is the A filled in and not the O?
Yeah.
Or the R.
Or the R. That's just bizarre.
It's very bizarre.
But even, what's the word underneath?
It's not a language. This isn't the US.
It looks Thai or something. Yeah. Huh. Oh, Mulan. That was never connected.
No. The L and the A bother me more than the A and the A.
Yeah.
Now, Happy Feet, the A is bigger than everything else.
Yeah, I don't remember that either. And then the 1P is way back.
Yep.
It's
all. I don't understand it. I don't remember that being like that.
Weird.
Teresa just found this one.
Wow.
I think the A and the T is connected as well, but it's,
hard to tell if folded over. Yeah. But they are in the A definitely, which isn't surprising.
And I do want to mention that Gemini Vision remembers the patch being on the opposite eye.
Yeah, I've heard that brought up before too. I don't remember. But I've heard it talked about. And I've heard people mentioning it.
For him. He did a video on it, if anybody's curious.
Nice.
Don't know where he is. He's been invited to come on our shows, but he's been in and out of the community for the past couple of years. Hopefully he comes back soon.
Whoops. I went right
They're
by
also tiny. I would just skip the tiny ones.
Yeah. Well, the E and the A, right? Again.
Yeah, the E goes under the A's.
The E and the A is doing that, and so is L and A a lot. That same thing. The L goes right up against it, and the bottom goes right underneath and into the A. It's so bizarre. R and the A. And other letters, A and N.
Yeah, it's all messed up. It's so hard. Teresa just saw this in the dollar store.
Weird.
The X's have those cutouts.
Yeah. That weird curve and connected. The R's and A's, again, a lot of the lower A's connect like that too. Is that R and A always? So weird.
Now this is interesting.
Yeah.
The O is filled in. The A is the triangle A. And I've been subscribed to this since they had a couple 100,000.
Really?
They have like over 4 million subscribers now.
Wow.
And I went back in the Wayback Machine to see when they changed it. It's been like this
forever.
Since not
forever.
Well, sort of. The reel has been like this since the beginning.
Weird.
The O, there's another logo of this, you'll see.
Okay.
There should be another logo.
I find that A interesting because, sorry, I was just saying that A is the first one I've seen. That's like our license plate, the one that I showed.
Yeah.
Those are the only two. Those are the only two so far that I've seen like that, though.
The O that was how it started out. There's 86,000 subscribers.
Huh.
So that O, for me, I do remember the planet, but it was a regular A. And it's always, since I've been subscribed, it's always been that filled in O. So I shouldn't have even known that because I wasn't subscribed back then.
Right. Weird. I don't know them, so I can't say, but I'll take your word for it. I do notice that R in the RS on the left is really reaching. Yeah, no, that's, like I said, that's the first time I've found another A like that. I haven't seen that in anything else. It's not very common.
The curves, I don't remember the curves.
No.
No. Just straight across.
Yeah.
And the AX is merged, obviously.
Yeah.
Giant is a food store here.
Yeah.
You got the broken pyramid and then the N is
Nope.
And the N wasn't curved at the top.
Right. Yeah. Well, why on one side it wouldn't be and the other side it is? It just doesn't.
It's weird.
I don't remember, the other thing I don't remember is the G's. I'm noticing this in a lot of capital G's where they just have a line going up.
And not in.
And not in, or at least across, or even in front, like sometimes.
Just
but
anything.
Never just straight up. Like, and that's happening a lot too. Oh, Rock Band.
Rock Band has had the upside down A since the very beginning. And I don't remember that. And the O and the C are merged to have that 8.
And the K's, symbol. And they have the pointy ends. Yeah. Yeah. That's it from this.
Okay. So let's go to the new folder I just added. Do you see it?
Okay. The cake. Yep.
Yeah.
Give me a sec here. All right.
Some Mandela effects for hanging in there. The 12 people who stuck around. Good job.
Do you want to ask them first, or you want me to just put it up and?
There should be
There's
graphics with the questions. Yeah.
There is. So, So, who said, let them eat cake? I know the answer to this, but I want to hear what the chat has to say. Is there anybody left
Same.
hanging in?
Yeah, there's 14 people hanging in now.
Oh, nice. I can't see the number. I just have the chat up.
Yeah.
So, who said, let them eat cake?
Anybody?
This isn't a ME for me. It's an MA.
Oh, it's going to be an ME for you.
No.
It is an MA. I got the joke. I get the joke.
Sorry, that was a dad joke.
It's okay. I'm used to them. I'm on Dan's show.
I agree, Joe. Anybody else?
That's the first name. Joe's on the right track.
And he's got the last name, too.
Oh, I didn't see it. I'm
just
on the delay
posted it.
here. Okay.
Betty
there
agrees.
Yes.
No problem, Joe. I agree. That's who I remember. 100%. Why, you telling me she didn't say it anymore? Is that what you're trying to tell us? Or is this a trick question?
Yes and yes.
Because I definitely remember Marie Antoinette saying this. It's one of the few things I remember from my history classes.
Yeah, and that's interesting you say that.
Or as we call it,
from your history
social
classes,
studies.
Right?
Social studies, we called it. But
we were
Canada,
taught, is what I'm saying.
Oh,
we
yeah.
were taught this.
I've definitely taught about the Renaissance, and so it's one of the few things I think I remember.
Mm-hmm. Well, you can go next graphic.
All right, let's take a look.
Oh wait, they're not in order then. There should be a graphic.
Oh, sorry. It's
all the residue. It's okay.
It's not going to come up.
Actually,
do you want me to just find it? Oh, it should be able to see it. I don't know if there is any other graph.
Oh, maybe it didn't go in, but go to the red boxes that you just passed.
The red?
The red boxes, yeah, right there. Oh no,
or is it this one?
The block on the left. There we go.
I found it.
Jean-Jacques Rousseau said, let them eat brioche, but he wasn't referring to Marie Antoinette when he said it. But no, there's an image that you pass by that has red squares on it.
Okay, let me find it.
Go back. Oh wait, right there, next to the pink one, to the right of the pink one.
Oh, I didn't know what you meant by red squares. I was looking for solid red squares.
I gotcha. It's pretty much Queen Antoinette was pretty much hated by all French peasants, and although she may have thought it, she never actually said, "Let them eat cake." Never said it.
Wow.
So it's a trick question in the sense that she never said it. I don't know why they taught this to us. She never said let them eat cake, yet she is associated with saying it all throughout history.
I mean, either way. I mean, it makes you wonder, right? Everything you learned. Sometimes. Where did it come from? Who did,
I don't know. Well, I don't know. We were taught that.
But what, I'm trying to think what rationale or what reason, like for me, it wouldn't have made the difference if I would have learned it was him or her. It wouldn't have changed anything for me, or my opinion on anything, or my.
I didn't even. Yeah, that's the thing.
You know what I mean?
There's
no rhyme or reason, though, right? Like, no, they didn't. And
I don't know. I'm
only implied.
Give you another folder.
Strange. And then this is just residue of her saying it?
Yeah. See, I'm trying to find Mandela effects to share with them that maybe they didn't see. That I only covered on Curious&Curiouser or only covered on Brian's channel.
Right. Yes, and I agree, Joe. They also taught us that Christopher Columbus discovered America.
Oh, now see, I was also taught that it was Amerigo Vespucci
I did
who actually
learn,
discovered it.
it wasn't, I did learn, of course, about Christopher Columbus as well, but I do remember learning, not too far in the future of when I learned it in high school, that the Vikings could have, there was maybe evidence that they visited us anyway, a lot earlier. But yeah, I don't know. This is a strange one.
It is. I'm curious. Oh, I don't know what I should share. There's just too many. I have too many folders here. I'm scrolling,
But
guys. I'm sorry.
You wonder if a lot of this was out there too, and did it eventually kind of turn into?
Well, she didn't say anything like it. Why are they attributing her?
I know. Well,
I mean, they even have her saying it in the movie with, I think it's Kirsten Dunst.
Right. But see, that's what I mean. It really, there's a lot. I don't think, I wonder if you still open a history book, does it still tell this story too? And it was just misunderstood that she said it and, she thought it and didn't really say it. Like if it's still here, largely, then it hasn't changed. Like if it was hard to find this stuff, I don't know. I've never looked. You did. Is there a lot of evidence saying? I know the story is still kind of fits, right? Because they say we were taught Marie Antoinette, but it was really this other guy. So the story, even if it did change, still kind of falls in line where you're going to find lots of evidence then that Marie Antoinette
said, "Let them eat cake,"
right? That's what I'm. It's harder to kind of prove.
It is harder to prove. Unlike this one I'll share. Now this one you guys may have seen because it was on Mandela Monday. Give me 1 minute. I got to make a folder for you.
For sure. And I'm not saying it isn't a me, but
no, I just think
definitely
it's weird
harder to.
I've never heard of the other guy.
No, me either.
Yet he said something close to it, and then she's never said it. It's so weird.
Right. Now I did hear the line, "Let them eat brioche." I'm probably murdering the line, probably, but I don't remember.
Give me 1 minute. I gotta move everything into the folders. The residue. I have to first put the graphic up, then put the residue behind it to keep it in the right order.
Right.
So the next folder is going to be bumpy, and it's done now. It should be uploaded. You should be good.
Hang on a sec.
Everything's starting with SD, though.
Okay. Let's give me a sec.
And if you guys saw this one, I'm sorry.
Bumpy. All right. Hopefully it's in order. If not, I'll be trying to be.
There you go. All right, guys. In the chat, fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy what? Damian, what do you remember?
I remember when you did this one.
You do, good.
Yeah, and you know what? I mean, my first thought would be ride, of course. But I know that's not it.
Anyone in the chat? Does anyone know this?
Because I can't.
This is a common saying.
You know what? Well, it is, but here's the problem. I don't even know if I've seen the movie. 100%. I really don't know if I have. I may have along the way. I wasn't a big old movie buff. I'd watch them from time to time, but I can't remember ever recall watching it. So I don't know if I'm just getting the saying in my head from because it fits with seatbelts. And I think we've said it. Like, I think it's a saying that we just started saying too, like, oh, fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy ride. Maybe it originally came from the movie. I can't say. I don't know. So for me, I can't say 100% if it's a me or not. But I'm interested to hear from, people that are really familiar with the movie and what they remember being said.
I'm not really familiar with the movie in the sense that I wouldn't have chosen to see this movie. I took a history of film class, and we saw films going from the very beginning up, like from silent films and up, and this was one of them. It's changed for me. I mean,
because I know
all about you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, like I said, if you ask me the saying, I would say fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy ride, and I'm sure I've said that before. But I could see it easily being something where maybe it started with one thing, but over time, or maybe it even had both sayings. What I'm really interested is, like, did she actually say that in the movie, or, I know it says she said bumpy night now, but
yes,
I'd be interested to hear from people that are, have that anchor memory of the movie and of what she actually said, and if she said ride or night, and what they remember.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I do remember ride. I don't remember night. It's actually really crazy to me that it's night.
Right, and I knew that's why you brought it up as one, but yeah. So I can't really add. Like, I don't feel like I can add to solidifying it at all. Because I could see that just becoming a common phrase. Because you hear seatbelts, and right away you're thinking driving, and it's going to be a crazy bumpy ride. And maybe people started saying that, but it would make sense if that's where it came. I don't know. Like, it's strange.
You can go on. I'm still looking for. I am still looking for that Remax one. I have it somewhere, but I have no idea where I have it.
Like, a bumpy night doesn't sound 100% right. I guess it can be bumpy. Like, it's going to be a rough night.
A rough night. I would say rough night, not bumpy, but yeah.
That's a good reference. So did this quote say night, Sandy?
Oh, yeah, that was me showing what the quote is now.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. I thought maybe it had changed.
Yeah. And of course, there's a ton of residue for ride because that's...
Yeah. Well, it makes sense, right? Like.
Good night, Betty Wolf. Thanks for coming.
Good night, Betty. And whoever's still here, thanks for hanging in. It's been a long show.
Yeah, I think
crazy.
We'll do like one more and then we'll get going because it's almost.
Yeah,
it's
I got to get going here
hours.
too. Exactly. I got to do some things for work tomorrow too. So get ready. It's crazy. Also, this is. This is interesting because they say that quote, but then say the quote is actually night.
Yeah, there's a.
It's hard to know though. Like I said, it's hard to know whether, because that's how, like you said, the men excutions, or what do you call them? The excuses. Men excuse. They all come up, and I've seen that happen. I've seen it pop up when you see a new change, and all of a sudden you'll see new evidence start popping up. in the exact same places you were looking before, and get, you'll see stronger and stronger evidence as you go along. Kind of like just recently with Fruit Loops, where all of a sudden now there's, a backstory and a story to explain the change, and they just seem to, over time, the evidence gets stronger. Usually.
There's just a lot of them.
Yeah. What's this quote from Zombieland? Do they say it in?
I just put that there because it was in reference to it, and I had to crop it out. So.
Right. So that was in reference to that movie. They used it in that movie as well.
Yes, it was.
Okay, but they used "ride" in that.
Yes.
Whoops.
It's okay.
Bumpy night. Driving downtown tonight. Used her photo. That's funny.
That person obviously remembers Betty Davis.
Yeah, exactly.
Wins it for me.
Yeah, no, for sure they remember it. That's, like I said, I'm interested. I'd be interested to hear some people that know the movie really well, and that it's a strong anchor memory for them.
Arroyo's saying, what year did the Challenger explode for you all? For me, it was 1986.
Yes. Was it 86 or 87? 86, I think.
86 for me. I have an anchor memory of watching it in school. Watching it happen. I was in 4th grade.
Wow. I just graduated. The year before.
4th graders, that was an educational, opportunity.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I remember we had to watch, we watched them all on TV. Anytime something came up, we had to pull the TV into the room.
I believe you, Oreo. Remembers, it's for him,
83.
83. Yeah.
Interesting.
That would have placed me in 1st grade.
There's a good quote. Wow.
All right, the next one's not a quote. The next one's visual. It's the last one. So we're going to do this last one, and then we're going to get going, guys.
All right. Sounds good.
It's the Herbie folder. I don't know if you saw this one, but it was kind of recent, like within the last 6 months or so.
Yes, I saw it, but let's bring that up. Sorry, I just got.
There was actually 2 with Herbie. I only did the 1 right now. Yeah, sorry. Teresa, we're on the last one.
What's going on here? Sorry, it's Flickr's acting strange. Okay.
Yeah, it does that sometimes.
Yeah. Is it the Josh Speed one?
No, there's SD 71220 Herbie.
Oh,
you don't see that?
I didn't see that right away. Hang on. You just did it?
Yeah.
Weird. Oh, there it is. Okay, it did pop up this time. Didn't last time. All right.
Okay, guys, in the chat, which pattern do you remember being on Herbie? If you know the Beetle car, the movies, the Love Bug. Do you remember A, B, or C? Oh, thanks, Teresa. It'd be better if you came back.
Yeah,
Teresa
it would.
B.
So do I.
I remember B as well. Does anybody? Okay, let's see. Curious&Curiouser's in the chat again too.
I
She
see
says
that.
B. JJ remembers A. Anyone else? I will, Teresa. Well, no one else is answering, and I'm just going to say everybody's wrong because it's C now.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember B.
Yeah, I remember B as well. I remember it being down the middle.
Same. And then I also remember a white car, and now it's tan to yellow.
Yeah, it almost looks yellowish in this one. But the stripes down the middle.
Exactly.
But the eyes are missing. They forgot the eyes. Down the middle, but it's yellow. That's so weird. And there's that weird font up top too. I hate that.
Yeah.
Can't look at fonts anymore. That's great. That's this. I remember you showing this one before, where on the car, it's offset, but in the background, it's right down the middle.
The way it should be.
Isn't that weird how they? And again, it's things like this that make me, you see this so often where in the actual thing, if it recognizes it, hey, the bottom picture is Herbie, I got to offset this. But then it missed it in the background image because it didn't relate it to the car somehow. You know what I mean? And it's so weird. It's like it's intelligence, but not smart enough to catch when it's not close enough.
Or the car is actually an image that someone stylized,
right? Which it looks like.
They drew the circle in the back, and they remember it that way.
Which it really looks like. Right? I would say that. I would say the car is an image. You can tell. And that they drew the back. So again, it's not picking it up as related to the car.
Yeah. It's the same here.
Yeah, that's weird too, eh? Same thing. Huh. Well, I guess it didn't have eyelids. I'm thinking, did it? No.
Well,
its eyes would move. The lights would move.
The cartoon did. There was a cartoon.
The cartoon did, but the lights would move side to side or kind of like eyes. But I don't think it had any kind of.
Now that one's off to the other side.
Kinda, or is it just, or was if you look at the top, it looks like it's in the top of the oval. Looks like it's in the middle.
It could be.
The bottom's off. Is it just kind of an art perspective thing, and they just kind of?
It could be.
I'm going to take it their intent was to draw it down the middle.
Yeah.
That's just my interpretation. That one's offset.
Yeah.
I would say.
That's also really small.
Sorry. Yeah.
Okay. Why are you saying sorry?
I'm just saying sorry to everybody because they're so small. I'm saying it on your behalf, Sandy.
Thank you. This one's tattooed on the body wrong.
Yeah, that would be yikes. It's got to make you happy. Again, I could see this as being interpreted as not being related and not being picked up, so it wasn't changed.
Yep.
Tattoos used to be great for residue, but I find
they still are.
They are, but not like they were at the beginning. Tattoos, you could find tons and tons of residue, and I've had other people say this, But I've noticed, and again, maybe this is my perspective and maybe a few others, it seems like it got wise to that though, and less, it was actually getting harder to find tattoo residue.
Oh, see, a lot of my residue is from tattoos still. It could be, but honestly, it probably depends on what the Mandela effect you're trying to find residue.
Yeah, that could be just the experience I've had, is that the things I was looking for, just not finding it. But I usually tend to look for tattoos on everything still, and it just seemed like at first you used to be able to find tons, and then it just got harder and harder. But I think overall it seemed to get a little bit harder.
Yeah.
Unless they're, again, if you're finding newer changes though, there's a good chance maybe, and you're so detailed in finding those, maybe that hasn't happened yet. So you are finding more. I don't know. Down the middle.
And white.
And white. That's what I remember. And that's it. I think we're at the end.
Yeah, guys, thanks for hanging in so long. 3.5 hours.
We lost a couple people along the way, sadly.
That's okay. We appreciate you all being here.
Mm-hmm. Sandy, thank you for inviting me again.
You can come in on any time you want. Anytime.
Well,
don't know when I'll be doing a show next.
I need to maybe start my own shows as well, as I get more time here now and can do it. I've been asked to go on a couple shows as well, so I might show up a couple other places. I won't say until I know definitely, but 100% sure. But yeah, you might see a little bit more of me. I don't know if that's a good thing for people or not, but we'll let them decide. But yeah, I might start doing some more shows myself too, and then maybe start inviting you guys, the three amigos, as I call you guys, you Teresa and Crystal, or three amigoettes.
Shardakan, I need to talk to you. I have to ask you something because I covered something with you in mind and you weren't there. Oh, so I need to talk to you. But yeah, no, that'd be great. And I just want to thank everybody for being here in the chat, on the panel. I'm sorry, Curiouser had to go, and Teresa had such bad technical issues that she had to leave. Hopefully, when her data re-ups, she'll be able to join again.
Yes, get that straightened out, Teresa. So you quit dropping out so much. And yeah, no, thanks again for having me on. And I hope everybody has a great evening, what's left of it. For some of you, there's not much because I know it's pretty late. It's only 9 o'clock here, so I've got a few hours left here. But and have a great week. I guess we'll see you tomorrow night, probably, right?
Yes, you will. You'll see me tomorrow night on Scarab Performance Channel, Mandela Monday.
Sounds good. Look forward to that.
Around 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time, I think. If we're on time.
Look forward to it.
All right, guys. Thanks for being here. Have a good night.
Have a great night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.